Oh, that story looks good. Let me click that link. What? Locked? Pay site? Why do they link stories that I can't see? I'm not paying for that.
All of your online news at your fingertips is free on QuincyJournal.com. Quincy Journal also has a mobile site that fits your smartphone perfectly. And have you taken a peek at QJTV, QND Lady Raiders, Quincy High Blue Devils, QND Raiders games and more, live on QJTV. For the latest in politics, community news, and more, free every day, it's QuincyJournal.com.
Seymour got their revenge over Madison. Remember, after that victory in the postseason last year, Madison went on to be the state 1A runner-up. Game that they lost to Mason City 55-44. Maybe this is a sign that this is Payson's year. We wish the Indians, Coach Brian Ray and his entire program, good luck from us here at WTAD as the 1A playoffs will be getting started in just a couple of weeks for these young men. Our doubleheader tonight starts with the boys of QND taking on traditional Iowa power, Danville. How good is Danville and how long have they been good? Well, it seems like they've been a powerhouse program in small school Iowa ever since the area was settled. In fact, in 2011, they were the 1A runner-up. In 2012, they went 27-1 and went to the 1A Final Four. And just last year, they were back to the 1A Final Four. That's right, this Danville program has been in the Iowa 1A Final Four 3 years running. They bring Iowa's #1 offense, not 1A's #1 offense, the entire state of Iowa boys basketball's #1 offense to the pit tonight to take on Notre Dame. Danville comes in 14-3 on a 3-game winning streak. The Raiders of QND are really believing in themselves now. They've turned over a new leaf after 2 weeks off, came out here last night and knocked off Ellsbury by the final of 53-48 behind a breakout 17-point scoring night for Riley Walls. He was supported with 8 from Austin Ritter. Those two will try to team up again tonight as the Raiders of Notre Dame, now at 6-14, having broken that 6-game losing streak with last night's win, will try to slow down Danville offensively and then set the tone in transition and on the offensive end against powerful Danville here tonight. And then in our nightcap, it'll be the Lady Raiders of QND taking on Rolling Meadows. This is a rematch of last year's final game here at the Superfan Shootout. That game last year, in which the Lady Raiders came away with an 87-82 victory, was called by fans of all genders and all ages no less than the best basketball game that had ever been played in this area. Those two teams will run it back tonight, and we'll have it as the nightcap of our doubleheader as I'll be joined by Lady Raider Hall of Famer Lori Vogel on the broadcast. We get started tonight, the middle game of our three-peat here on WTAD Afternoons. As you heard, Illinois battle Penn State with Brian Barnhart and crew, with Notre Dame getting set to take on Danville. Just how will the Raiders attack this guard-oriented, high-scoring offense? We'll find out when we talk it over with Coach Shetfield next as our countdown to tip-off continues on Talk Radio 930 WTAD.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
tip-off continues on WTAD. The Raiders are undefeated since their 2-week reboot of the season. Coach, I guess that's a great way to sell the start you had last night.
You know, I told the guys the other night, I said, you know, we win another one, that's 2 in a row. If we win three, that's a streak. So hopefully we can continue in the right direction. But no, seriously, I thought we played well last night, and very happy with how we came back and battled at the end there and pulled it out. And we'll have our hands full tonight. Danville comes in, shoots the ball very well. They average shooting 23 threes a game. They got one gentleman that makes about 4 a game. So we'll have our hands full tonight.
Yeah, and all their big scorers are juniors or younger, too, so they're set up for a little while. But let's talk about your program right now. You get the win over a power club last night. Kenny Leslie, the featured the interior pivot at 6'9". Now you transition. You mentioned it a little bit. This Danville team, just to give fans an idea, they're going to look a little bit more like a Palmyra-style team that you saw earlier in the year. So in a real quick turnaround, you have to really kind of change your philosophy on what you're going to be looking to defend and how the game's going to play out.
Yeah, and we'll still stick to our zone. We're going to come out and play 1-3-1. We're going to see if we can play a little man against them. You know, last night we couldn't play a lot of man with 6'9" in there. We just don't have anybody that can battle, you know, go up against them. But you'll see some zone out of us. We'll widen our zone a little bit and take away the 3, and hopefully we can rebound out of it.
Now, last night you got a great scoring performance from Riley Walls. We know it's kind of scoring by committee on this team. You know, who are the other guys that have been hot lately that have impressed you with the way they're handling on the offensive end right now?
Well, Drew Eaton, you know, he missed a couple shots last night, but he can score. You know, we can get him started early. Carter Cramsey, obviously, can put the ball in the basket. You know, but it is every night we don't know. You know, Tony Stella, hopefully, he can give us 6 to 8 every game. But, you know, Riley Walls last night, you know, played within himself and did things that I think that he needs to do to be successful.
Stella's got to stay on the floor if he's going to score.
Yeah, I think he picked up the quickest 2 fouls I've ever seen last night. You know, and he comes off, I never touched him, you know, and you always get that. But, no, he plays hard, and he's going to play aggressive. So, you know, I'm never going to complain.
You know, I said that to him before we did this interview, and he said the same thing. Well, I didn't do anything wrong. He's just that kind of kid.
Yes. No, he just goes out and battles. You know, and he's going to try to pick up fouls on other players, and sometimes he gets caught, and sometimes he doesn't. So, no, you know, just tonight's going to be he's going to have responsibility of getting some long rebounds. You know, and then getting us into our offense on the other end.
And it's got to be fun to be part of it. Just a high school basketball showcase a day like today.
Great games all day. You know, Illini West and Lanark Easton went down 56-54, and you know, Illini West is playing great right now. Then you had Payson. Now you have Payson and Madison playing, and just unbelievable. And then our game, and then the girls' game. You know, playing Rolling Meadows. So it's a great day of basketball here at the Pit.
All right, that's the head coach. We'll have more as our countdown to tip-off continues next on WTAD.
As a parent, I would recommend John Wood. There's a big misconception that you don't get the college experience until you actually go away to a school. Both of my daughters have thrived at John Wood. John Wood instructors and staff take a real serious interest. All of her classes transferred, no problem. John Wood gave both my kids a great start, a no-brainer for us. My name is Doug Porter, and I'm the proud father of 2 daughters who attended John Wood Community College. It's your college for your life.
Design, build, and transport products for the future right here at John Wood Community College. John Wood provides the training you need to get the good-paying job you want. Employers are looking for highly skilled technical workers in manufacturing, electrical, construction, computer-aided design, truck driver training. Getting started is easier than you think. Call John Wood today or go online at jwcc.edu. John Wood Community College. It's your college for your life.
Welcome to the pit on Talk Radio 930 WTAD. I'm Sean Seacrease, and we're about to wrap up the 2014 KHQA Subway Superfan Shootout with a doubleheader tonight between Notre Dame and Danville, and then the Notre Dame ladies and Rolling Meadows. The starting lineups are about to be introduced. We'll take a final timeout for our national anthem. We'll have the tip next on WTAD.
Culver Stockton Wildcat basketball is on WTAD. Listen in on February 27th as the Wildcat men's basketball team plays host to the Ravens of Benedictine College. Tip-off is set for 7:30 p.m. The Wildcats are looking to make it back to the NAIA National Tournament for the second straight year. You can hear every second of the action on AM 930 WTAD. Culver Stockton Wildcat basketball takes on Benedictine College February 27th at 7:30 p.m. on AM 930 WTAD.
A pit that was absolutely packed for the previous game between Madison and Payson-Seymour is still about 65% full as we get set to tip off Notre Dame and Danville. Let's go over the starters for Danville this evening. They're going to start with Mason Spear, the junior, and one of their leading scorers, Spear, averaging 17.5 points per game this season. He is Danville's leading bomber. It'll be Sanchez, the sophomore. He'll be joined on the floor by Colton Jackson, a sophomore. It'll be Connor Holtzen, the junior, and Hunter Peebler, also a junior. For the Raiders, it'll be last night's same starting lineup with Stella, Walls, Cramsey, and Ritter, the five on the floor to get things started for the Raiders. Opening tap is won by Danville, and we're underway. Danville in the head-to-toe blue with the white letters, numbers, and accents down the side. Raiders in their home classic whites with the blue piping and the gold trim. Three from the outside is no good on a very quick look by Spear to get us started. And the Raiders pick up an easy defensive rebound, bring it into the front court. No score between a high-scoring Danville offense and a Raider team that is just looking to find an identity, a winning one, late in the season. The Raiders won last night by putting 53 on the board in a 53-48 win over Ellsbury. Driving layup down the right side is good for Ritter. Ritter's got two, and the Raiders break on top. Notre Dame can't get to a long miss, and it's an easy rebound for Peebler. Peebler kicks it outside to Spear. Spear right side. Peebler uncovered left baseline. His layup no good. Weak side rebound by Stella. Raiders want to run with Ritter. Ritter down the lane on the near side again. Shot partially blocked. Rebound holds it in traffic. Up the floor comes Spear for Danville. Danville, Iowa on the outside. They take, on average, 23 threes a game. Right side elbow jumper. No good for Jackson. And the Raiders with another quick rebound. Raiders lead this one early, 2-0, thanks to the layup by Ritter. Misses on the near side, picked up by Spear. He wants to run the floor. Danville into the front court. Raiders leading 2-0 as we're 90 seconds in between these two small school traditional powers. Turnover on the far side as Sanchez loses the handle. Cramsey, the freshman point guard, brings it into the front court, gets help from Cade Walls. Cade Walls still with the bandage on his left hand. Quick three from Cramsey is no good. And the Raiders settle for a quick shot on that offensive possession. Into the lane dribbles Holtzen. Now between his legs. Into the corner. Spear, three. It's good. Spear's three. He'll take them at will for Danville. Averages 17.6 points per game this season. The leading scorer for the highest scoring offense in the state of Iowa this season. They average some 76 points per game. Let this rattle around in your skull for a moment. Danville is plus 380 points this season. They have outscored their opposition by 380. Meanwhile, the Raiders are underwater on that stat. Quick three from the right side. That goes for Ritter. He's got all 5, and Notre Dame leads it again, 5-3. Into the front court, left side. Ball out of bounds. Going to be a foul whistled against the Raiders. They'll get Riley Walls on the push. First foul against Notre Dame and Walls. It'll be Danville basketball right in front of the Raider bench here at the pit as the Raiders defend the left end of the floor and move left to right against Danville. Raiders going with their 1-3-1 zone. Danville going to have chances to shoot. They'll do it with Sanchez off the right side wing. His three is no good. Rebounding traffic underneath by Walls. Into the front court, Cramsey. Far side corner, Stella. Straight away now, Cade Walls. Now to Ritter. Riley Walls going to drive the right baseline. 12-foot floater goes. Well, good to see Riley Walls, who had a team-high 17 last night, back into his rhythm. Timeout called by Danville as the Raiders have started hot. We'll take it with them. It's the Raiders 7, Danville 3. You're listening to the first quarter of action as QND takes on Danville in the Superfan Shootout at the pit on WTAD.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. That was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
Out of the timeout, Danville turns it over, and the Raiders will have it back. Inbound it right in between the scorer's table and the PA announcer's table at center stripe. Cade Walls will have it in his hands. Danville going to come out man-to-man with this defense. The Raiders have been the masters of the morphing defense of late. They've shown man-to-man at times, a 2-3 zone and a 1-3-1. Baseline entry for Stella. Shot won't go. Tipped out. Controlled by Danville. On the run. No-look give. Turns it around. He's Jackson. 3 from the outside. Won't go. And a foul underneath on the offensive rebound against Holtzen. Raiders will have it on the left end of the floor. 4:32 to go. Opening quarter. QND on top. 7-3. Raiders with 5 from Ritter and 2 from Walls to get things started. Walls gets to the right elbow, kicks it out to Ritter. His 3 no good. That's off the front of the rim. Rebound by Stella. He's fouled, and the big senior will go to the line. Stella. By this time in the game last night, he picked up 2 fouls and was on the bench. Looking good tonight, though he doesn't have to guard 6'9" Kenny Leslie at the beginning. That'll certainly help. Stella at the stripe. It's the first free throw. Stella had foul trouble all night last night, ended with just a couple of free throws for 2 points on the night. He has that right now as he hits both free throws. Raiders lead it 9-3. 4:15 to go, first quarter here at the pit. Behind the back for Spear, into the front court. He wants to pick up Criswell just into the game. Ball tapped out across the left baseline, and it's going to stay with Danville. Dylan Criswell just into the game for this high-scoring Danville team, head coached by Ken LaFoon. 3 out of the corner, good for Holtzen. Holtzen's a forward, but he'll step out and hit it. He averages 16.5 a game this season for a 14-3 Danville team. The Raiders on top, 9-6 into the front court. Far side for Stella. Around the perimeter, near side Ritter. Ritter's 1 of 2 from beyond the arc to start the game. He looks to the right side, backdoor for Cramsey. That's covered up. Ritter on the outside, fakes the 3, drives to the block. It's going to be a player control foul. And the offensive foul against Ritter is the second against Notre Dame as a team. Standing in there to take that hit was the leading scorer for Danville, Spear. Mason Spear, the junior, he just let himself get run over. He's given up the body, and he gave up a particular part of the anatomy in that collision that has him doubled over and gasping for breath. He's trying to pull himself together, gives up the rock to Peebler on the far side. To the elbow for Jackson. He gets to the baseline, throws it off the glass, good for 2. Jackson's first points of the night. And we got a 1-point game, 9-8. Raiders on top, 3:20 to go, first quarter. Raiders bring it across the timeline with Cramsey. Get Reese into the game. Cramsey, Reese, Stella. Stella, jumper from the free throw line, trickles over the front of the rim. He's got 4. You heard of the pregame show. Coach Sheffield knows that Stella's not a guy who's going to average double figures offensively, but he does want him to chip in 6 to 8 a night, and he feels like with his good defense, that's going to be a key to helping the Raiders win. Stella's got 4 here in the first quarter. Raiders are up 11 to 8. Out of bounds on the pass on the near side by Danville. Raiders have it back. Cramsey, Reese, Riley Walls, Stella, and Eaton, the 5 on the floor now for Notre Dame. Walls gets fouled on his left baseline drive, and he'll go to the free throw stripe. Riley Walls, he had 17 last night. That was his breakout scoring performance this year. Let's see what he can do now. Walls trying to follow that night up. He's got 2. And the free throw rolls off to the right side. He'll get another. Raiders 6-14 all the season. Looking to regroup down the stretch before the postseason starts. Missed by Walls, rebound by Cramsey. The freshman gets the Raiders another possession. Eaton on the outside. Now Cramsey left wing. Eaton straight away around the perimeter to Reese. Reese, remember, he's a lefty, and he's got a quick release. Into the lane, jumper by Stella is good. Well, Tony Stella has come out looking very comfortable in the flow, in the lane on the offense, and he's got a half dozen. Here's a steal by Stella. Raiders going to transition. Up 13-8. Kick it to the corner. Fake by Walls. Throws it across the lane. Batted away by Danville. And Danville has it with Spear. Spear into the front court. Goes right side for Jackson. Jackson draws a double team. Gives it up. Chases one fan all the way down the sideline. Now a 3 on the way. Rims out. And the putback off the miss by Spears. The Raiders get caught looking. Good for Criswell. He's got his first 2. The substitute does. We're at 2 minutes to go first quarter. 13-10. Raiders on top in what's been a seesaw game. Raiders have led by as many as 9-3, but since then, Danville has been dictating. Raiders step into it with Cramsey. Fakes the shot. Gets into the lane. Throws it off glass. It's going to go. The freshman's got great touch and great feel for his position on the floor. His first 2 of the night tonight. And the Raider lead is back to 5, 15-10. Far side for Danville. Put it into the hands of the substitute, Sanchez. Now to the near side for Holtzen. Turn around for Peeber. He kicks it out backdoor. Spear for 3. Off the front of the rim. Won't go. Rebound by Peeber. Peeber underneath. His spin move won't go. And now Eaton has it. Raiders looking down the floor. Cramsey on a crossover against Jackson man-to-man. Takes him to the baseline. Kicks it back outside. Reese going to go for 3 from the wing. He's got it. Raiders lead 18-10 off the 3 by Reese. And now more substitutes into the game for Coach Sheffield and the Raiders. Here comes Ben Welper. And this, when the Raiders are playing well, is when they're dangerous. They'll go to a guard-oriented lineup. They'll go to a speed-oriented lineup. And then just when they succeed with that, they'll change it up, bring in the big-bodied sophomore Ben Welper, and let him go to work on you. Now wearing a brace on his left knee. Welper's at the high post. Raiders into the right side corner with Ritter. Now Reese. Around the perimeter, Eaton wants 3. His sidewinding shot won't go. Raiders get back on defense as Danville transitions up the left wing. Lost out of bounds, and it's going to go to the Raiders. Danville is having trouble holding on to the ball, and they brought in backup senior guard Shea Sells to try and help him in transition. And Sells, he bobbles the first one that he sees. Raiders will get Stella out of the game for the last 45 seconds of this first quarter as they lead 18-10, 40 seconds to go. Reese, Eaton at the top of the key. Ritter, Welper down low, and Walls on the far side. Eaton had an open look, passed it up. Ritter wants 3 out of the corner. No good. Rebound by Reese on the weak side. Sets it outside. Now Eaton wants a 3. That's no good as it went inside first. That was a good look. Down the lane, Reese gives it to Welper, and the 2 miscommunicate on the pass, and it goes out of bounds into the student section on the right end baseline. Raiders leading 18-10, 18 seconds to go, first quarter. Jackson brings it up the floor for Danville. Skip pass over the top to Holtzen. Holtzen's going to have his pocket pick. Ritter's on the run, gets to the right elbow. Travels with it, no call, sets it back outside to Cade Walls. Walls, alley-oop, backdoor, Ben Welper, knocked out of bounds by Jackson. Good, quick defensive rotation by Jackson for Danville as he came from the weak side and slapped it away. Raiders 1.5 seconds to work with off the right end baseline. Alley-oop to Welper. Welper takes his time, goes up, gets fouled. He's going to go to the line for 2, but the ball just wouldn't stay inside the cylinder. So Ben Welper, the sophomore, will have 2 lonely free throws to wrap up this first quarter. Raiders lead 18-10, no time on the board. Welper will get 2, and then we'll wrap up the first quarter. Can he extend it to a double-digit lead? First free throw looks good, comes up short. The big sophomore gets ready for the next and knocks it down. Welper goes 1 of 2. Raiders lead at 19-10, end of the first quarter. You're listening to Raider basketball on WTAD.
As a parent, I would recommend John Wood. There's a big misconception that you don't get the college experience until you actually go away to a school. Both of my daughters have thrived at John Wood. John Wood instructors and staff take a real serious interest. All of her classes transferred, no problem. John Wood gave both my kids a great start, a no-brainer for us. My name is Doug Porter, and I'm the proud father of 2 daughters who attended John Wood Community College. It's your college for your life.
Design, build, and transport products for the future right here at John Wood Community College. John Wood provides the training you need to get the good paying job you want. Employers are looking for highly skilled technical workers in manufacturing, electrical, construction, computer-aided design, truck driver training. Getting started is easier than you think. Call John Wood today or go online at jwcc.edu. John Wood Community College. It's your college for your life.
19-10. Sean Secrease with you on location. This is game 1 of our doubleheader tonight. The Lady Raiders of QND are going to take on Rolling Meadows to wrap up the 2014 Superfan Shootout. The Lady Raiders 23-2. They've won 6 in a row. They're ranked number 3 in Class 3. Rolling Meadows 22-3. They've won 5 in a row. They're ranked number 3 in Class 4. It is going to be an outstanding game this evening. That follows us immediately here on Talk Radio 930 WTAD. Notre Dame brings it into the front court to start the second quarter. Danville is rotated into a 2-3 zone. Raiders moving left to right in those home whites with the gold numbers and the blue trim. Into the corner, attacking the basket from the baseline is Walls, and Walls going to be called for a player control foul as he went up and over Spear. Spear has drawn 2 charging fouls for Danville so far here tonight. Spear, in addition to being Danville's leading scorer, also very good at giving up the body in the lane. Spear has 3 for Danville, Holtzen a 3, Jackson 2, Criswell 2, as the Raiders held the top offense in the state of Iowa to just 10 points in the first quarter. Up the far side sideline, Jackson gets it into the corner for Peebler. Peebler's 3 is good. You're not going to hold them down all night, and they're going to take about 24 threes along the way. Raiders are going to have to get ready to roll with this eventual run that Danville will put together. Raiders still leading at 19-12. Across the top, did they just give him a 2? Runner by Cramsey is good at the lane. The freshman finding room to score, and the Raiders go up 21-12. They just gave him a 2. His foot might have been on the line. That's a break for the Raiders. Peebler in that same far side corner in front of the student section, left end of the floor, opposite side. Takes it back around the perimeter. Raiders have switched to a zone now. They want to extend their 1-3-1 and challenge Danville to find the soft spots to shoot from. Peebler finds it on the wing, rushes the 3. Foul against Holtzen, not called as he ran right up the back of Ritter. And no call on the near side. Raiders have it in transition. Cramsey fakes the shot and then double dribbles when the defense of Sanchez locked him down on the far side. Raiders looking a little bit out of sync to start this second quarter after they looked tremendous in the first quarter. 19 points in the first quarter, coming off that 21-point third quarter against Ellsbury last night. The Raider offense looks much smoother this weekend than it did at the Jacksonville tournament. Out of the corner, Peebler, 3, fakes it, rolls to the rim. Shot's going to be waved off. He traveled on his way to the rim. The layup went in, but the official made the call right away. Peebler took some extra steps on his walkabout. 6:20 to go, first half. Raiders on top, 21-12 over Danville. Into the front court, Cramsey. Danville playing an extended 2-3 zone now. The Raiders are going to have to find room inside for Welper. Pass over the top to Eaton. Eaton, now Cramsey steps up, pinches, draws two defenders. Eaton inside the center circle, has it straight away. Cramsey right side, Stella outside the arc, skip past Eaton. And the defense of Danville just too quick to allow any of the three-point shooters for the Raiders that open look. Eaton's going to take it from well outside the arc. That won't go. Rebound is loose in the lane, run down by Sanchez. Eaton's 0 for 3 from distance tonight. And now Danville with a chance to draw it closer than 9. In the lane, Peeber hit front of the rim. Shot won't roll home, but Peeber will get 2 as he goes to the line. Peebler averages 15.2 points per game as well as 6 rebounds a game. He and Holtzen averaging 16.5 points a game and 6 rebounds per game. They do the little inside work that's done by Danville, and they also shoot the 3. Peebler hits the first free throw. He's got 3 on the night. 5:36 to go, first half. Peebler looks for his next. He misses it, follows his own miss, wraps up Stella, and the foul on Peebler as the Raiders get a break, and they'll bring it in from the left end of the floor. Just a reminder, if you'd like to watch tonight's game, you can do it at QuincyJournal.com. Not only this game going on between QND and Danville, but the nightcap, the Lady Raiders and Rolling Meadows. The team at QuincyJournal.com will have both with our audio live from the pit. Just check out QuincyJournal.com, click on the QJTV tab, and enjoy tonight's TV broadcast. Jumper off the baseline in transition for Stella won't go. Rebound Peeber. Raiders have Jacob Mayfield into the game. Mayfield with the steal, and he gets the Raiders a bonus possession. Mayfield was a revelation in the game over Ellsbury last night. Let's see if the freshman, who struggles with focus, according to the head coach, Bob Sheffield, is focused here this evening. Playing in the lane, open look from the wing. That's good for Ritter for 3, and that 3 was there because Mayfield set the screen down low. Into the front court, and a push whistled against Stella as he got underneath. Holtzen going for that long pass of the interception. Raiders lead it 24-13. Checking in for Danville is going to be Mitch Harden. Martin, the 6'3" freshman. Martin tries to set a screen in the lane, and now tempers flare as Martin, Spear, Ritter, and Mayfield all come together. They get sorted out. Danville's ball on the entry. Raiders get Bodorf into the game. Stepping up to the left elbow is Sanchez. Looks down low, Jackson. Jackson's layup good as he was able to get inside Mayfield. That cuts the Raider lead back to 9, 24-15. Top of the key for Ritter. Spits it out the back door to Cramsey. Cramsey hit as he took a 12-footer. No call. And a chance for Danville to run it back inside 9. Danville on the outside looking for their leading scorer, Spear. Raiders have him covered up. Go down low to Martin. Back outside, Spear. Cross-court pass for Holtzen. Holtzen's going to take the 3. Looks good, is good. Holtzen's got 6, and the lead is 6. The Raiders lead it 24-18. 4 minutes to go, first half here at the pit. Cramsey, top of the key, spit it out the back door for Eaton. He's going to drive inside, goes around the defensive Holtzen. Layup is good. Eaton, 0 for 3 from distance, takes it into the lane and makes the layup in traffic. That's a good look and a good sign for QND. Into the front court now, Holtzen. He tries to kick it out on his baseline drive. Player control foul, and Holtzen, he's going to pick up Danville's 6th team foul. They've got no more to give. Raiders have been whistled for 5 fouls so far this first half. They've got 1 more to give before Danville ends up in the bonus. Coming up on Tuesday, it's Raider basketball on Talk Radio 930 WTAD. The Raiders will be here at the pit to take on Sacred Heart Griffin. That's a team they'll see in the postseason. They're going to be regional foes. We'll talk a lot more about the region and how it's shaping up coming up on that Tuesday game against Sacred Heart Griffin here at the pit. We'll have it for you at 7 o'clock. Straightaway look for Eaton in the front court. Gets into the lane. 6-foot floater. It wraps around the rim and goes down. Eaton's got 4 in a row. The Raider lead is back to 10, 28-18. Down the lane, Danville. Kicking out left wing, Sanchez. His runner from the left elbow is good. Every starter for Danville has scored, but the Raiders still lead 28-20. Only Cade Walls hasn't scored for the Raiders, who's played more than just a minute or two. Nobody picks up Reese. His quick three won't go off the front of the rim. Rebound Mayfield. He gets tied up inside with Martin, and they're going to call a jump ball. This is going to be possession Notre Dame. Right end baseline, 2:55 to go first half. Raiders get it in with Bodorf. Outside, Reese wants to take a quick three. That one's short. Reese has taken the last 2 threes, and he's come up just short on both of them. They caromed out off of Danville, and it'll be back to the Raiders. Bodorf, who has a great stroke himself, is going to be the inbounder. They float it up to Mayfield. He can't come down with it. Danville comes away with it. Spear is involved on the floor with Ritter. And now, uncovered Holtzen for 3 on the outside. Long rebound, bounds around. Holtzen runs his own miss down, and it's another possession for Danville. Danville steps in, quick pass into the corner. Jackson's going to go for 3. It won't go. Rebound underneath, knocked out of bounds by the Raiders. Stay with Danville, left end of the floor. Well, Danville, they're going to go for the 3-point shot. Reminds you of kind of Palmyra's attack that we saw earlier this year. Raiders going zone on this out-of-bounds entry by Danville from the baseline. Danville gets it in, get it straight away with Sanchez. Far side for Holtzen. Holtzen on the handoff to Spear. Spear wraps around to the top. Raiders are going to chase him all over the floor. 2-3 zone with Reese and Eaton at the top for the Raiders. Welper's in the lane with Bodorf on his left and Ritter on his right. Those are the 5 on the floor for Notre Dame. Spear steps into the crease, top of the key, kicks it off to the near side for Sanchez. He gives it up to Holtzen. Far side corner, Spears 3, no good. Rebound in traffic by Jackson. He spins, takes it up, loses it out of bounds. Last touch by Ritter, and will stay with Danville on the left end of the floor. Spear having an off night shooting it tonight, 1 for 5 in the pit in this first half. We're just under 2 minutes to go first half. Raiders leading 28-20 over Danville. Danville's going to inbound it with Spear. Look for him to take it back to him. He gets a little alley-oop pass to Holtzen, who misses the bunny. Raiders get a chance to run near side. Eaton, bounce pass, backdoor, Reese, knocked out of bounds by Spear. Well, that's just great leadership by the junior, Mason Spear. He leads his team back on defense with his hustle and gets the deflection on what would have been an easy layup on the weak side for Reese. These two teams going through a scoring drought here in the last 90 seconds as we're still 28-20, Raiders on top. Raiders inbound it with Cramsey, left end of the floor, tipped at the front of the rim, laid up by Welper. Welper, great job to stay focused on where that ball was instead of anticipating the play, and the Raiders are back up 10, 30-20. Curling move, Sanchez gets to the right elbow and then travels with it before he could find Spear on the left wing. Raiders get the ball back, 96 seconds to go first half, and Coach LaFoon is not happy with his Danville offense right now. He runs Sanchez off the floor, gets Shea Seals back in. And Coach LaFoon is letting Sanchez hear about it on the bench for the Danville Bears. Near side for Reese. Reese stepping up against the 2-3 zone. Looking for help, takes it to Cramsey, left side. Back to Reese straight away. Looking to drive, gets a high pick from Welper. Welper wanted to run a little pick and roll at the elbow, but Reese wasn't interested. Welper working down low. He's got Ritter working on the backside. And now a foul away from the ball against Welper for setting a moving screen. Minute 11 to go, first half. Raiders on top, 30-20 over Danville, Iowa. Raiders come into this one 6-14, looking for a 2-game win streak. Danville at 14-3. Danville, part of that very good Southeast Iowa Conference. You've got them. You've got Notre Dame up in that area. That is a loaded conference, and Danville looking like the best of the bunch this year. Plus 380 points this year while going 14-3 for Danville. Just think about that in perspective with Notre Dame, who's underwater in the points for, points against statistic. Going to the free throw line after the foul out near midcourt. That was kind of a nickel dime foul. Spear, though, is going to get himself to the line. Great scorers know how to do this. Get to the free throw stripe and then convert. And Spear, no stranger to that. Averaging 17.5 points per game this season. He's been held to just 3 on 1 of 5 shooting from beyond the arc here in the first half. If he gets his game going, Raiders will have to make some defensive adjustments. Spear misses the front end of the 1-and-1, and the Raiders have the rebound with Ritter. 1 minute to go, first half. Raiders near side, two-man game between Cramsey and Eaton now as they come into the front court. 50 seconds to go. Will the Raiders try to hold for the last shot, leading 30-20? Raiders at home in the pit where they've looked their best this season outside the State Farm Holiday Classic. Raiders trying to hold for the last shot. Danville's going to let them. Now Holtzon's going to roll out and pressure Eaton, so he has to at least dribble it. 33 seconds to go. Cramsey back to Eaton. Now 30. Raiders will try and run another 15 seconds or so off the clock before they get into their offensive set. Back to the near side. They've run it down to 20 seconds to go in the first half. Eaton into the corner. Ritter's going to come off a double screen for a three. That's no good. Rebound is long, picked up by Peebler. Danville, plenty of time. 10 seconds into the front court. Holtzon fakes it, gets it to Spear. Now back to Holtzon. He's got Peebler. Holtzon's going to take the contested three. It's a long miss. Danville gets it back. Alley-oop, front of the rim as time expires. No good. And that's going to take us to halftime. A thrilling first half, though a lower scoring one than we anticipated, sees the Raiders on top of Danville 30-20 on Talk Radio 930 WTAD.
Culver Stockton Wildcat basketball is on WTAD. Listen in on February 27th as the Wildcat men's basketball team plays host to the Ravens of Benedictine College. Tip-off is set for 7:30 p.m. The Wildcats are looking to make it back to the NAIA National Tournament for the second straight year. You can hear every second of the action on AM 930 WTAD. Culver Stockton Wildcat basketball takes on Benedictine College February 27th at 7:30 p.m. on AM 930 WTAD.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
Welcome to Raiders at the Half on Talk Radio 930 WTAD. Notre Dame on top of Powerhouse Danville, Iowa, 30-20. Let's take a look at the Hanson Spear stat sheet here at the half. For the Raiders, Tony Stella with 6. He got those all in the first quarter. Riley Walls with 2. Cramsey with 4. And Ritter, the Raiders' leading scorer on the night tonight, with 8. Off the bench, Reese with 3, Eaton with 4, and Welper with 3 for the Raiders. For Danville, Iowa's most prolific offense, shooting 23 threes a game on average. Well, they're throwing it up at the right pace. They're just not hitting at the pace that they're accustomed to. They're just 3 of 13 from beyond the arc is Danville. The Raiders were a little better at 3 of 12 in the first half. For Danville, Spear with 3, Sanchez with 2, Jackson with 4, Holtzon with 6, Peebler with 3. Criswell with 2 off the bench as the Raider defense has flummoxed Danville for the first 16 minutes of this game. The Raiders came out and led this one 9-3 in the first quarter before Danville called an angry timeout. After that, the Raiders kept putting distance between themselves and Danville, leading at the end of the first quarter 19-10. The Raiders outscored Danville 11-10 in the second quarter and have their 10-point lead 30-20 here at the half. Coming up, we'll check in with the Fox Sports Newsroom on a busy day in sports. And stay with us for our nightcap tonight as the Lady Raiders of QND will take on Rolling Meadows in a rematch of what many have called the best game ever played in our area. That was last year when Notre Dame came up with an 87-82 win over Rolling Meadows here at the pit. That coming up following our game here on WTAD. You're listening to Raiders at the Half. Let's check in now with the Fox Sports Newsroom.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
A funeral service is more than an end to life. It's a remembrance, a time to commemorate all that person meant to us.
My dad meant so much to us. It was hard to know where to begin.
Our caring staff will help you make it a fitting farewell, with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
It's Raiders at the Half on Talk Radio 930 WTAD. Coming up immediately following our game, I'll be joined by Raider Hall of Famer Lori Vogel as we'll get set for tonight's nightcap in the 2014 Superfan Shootout, Quincy, Notre Dame, and Rolling Meadows. Notre Dame won it last year 87-82 in a thriller, but Rolling Meadows has all 4 of their Division I signees back, and the Lady Raiders, they're going to be without a couple of key players from last year's game. Gingenbacher, who had 27, and Jordan Frericks now playing at Missouri with 25. They had 52 of the 87 that night. How will the Raiders replace that offense in their effort to beat Rolling Meadows in back-to-back Superfan shootouts? We'll find out immediately following this one here on Talk Radio 930 WTAD. The story of the first half is the Raiders' ability to dictate tempo with their defense. They were able to shut down Danville's prolific three-point attack by closing out quickly and not giving them many second chances. In fact, they held Danville to 3 from 13 from beyond the arc in the first half, and that's how the Raiders built this 10-point lead at the half, 30-20. Can they keep this Danville offense suppressed for another 16 minutes? We'll find out. The second half, it starts next on WTAD.
As a parent, I would recommend John Wood. There's a big misconception that you don't get the college experience until you actually go away to a school. Both of my daughters have thrived at John Wood. John Wood instructors and staff take a real serious interest. All of her classes transferred, no problem. John Wood gave both my kids a great start, a no-brainer for us. My name is Doug Porter, and I'm the proud father of 2 daughters who attended John Wood Community College. It's your college for your life.
Design, build, and transport products for the future right here at John Wood Community College. John Wood provides the training you need to get the good-paying job you want. Employers are looking for highly skilled technical workers in manufacturing, electrical, construction, computer-aided design, truck driver training. Getting started is easier than you think. Call John Wood today or go online at jwcc.edu. John Wood Community College. It's your college for your life.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
A funeral service is more than an end to life. It's a remembrance, a time to commemorate all that person meant to us.
My dad meant so much to us. It was hard to know where to begin.
Our caring staff will help you make it a fitting farewell with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
I have a confession to make. I got my dates confused. That Illinois-Penn State game is tomorrow afternoon. We'll have it for you. Pre-game show with Brian Barnhart and crew, 2:30. Tip-off at Happy Valley at 3:15 on Talk Radio 930 WTAD. Illinois at 13-10 on the season. Penn State at 12-11. Illinois is going to have to pick it up. They want to have any chance of looking for any kind of postseason action this year under Coach Gross. Here we go, second half from the pit. Raiders going to move right to left. They are coming out with their starting 5. Stella, Walls, Cramsey, and Ritter. Off the near side. It's a 2-man trap out of the 1-3-1. Raiders force Sanchez to give it up. Cross-court pass for Spear of Danville. Back to the near side for Jackson. His 3 is no good. Stella with a big rebound in the lane as he chased it down. That's now 3 of 14 from beyond the arc for this prolific Danville offense. Raiders charge down the right side baseline. Nothing there around the perimeter. Wide open 3 from the corner. Riley Walls is good. Great ball reversal by Austin Ritter, the Raiders' leading scorer in this game, to pass up that contested look. Now a steal, layup. Ritter gets it to go. The hoop and the harm, and the Raiders have a chance for a 6-0 run to start this second half. This looks like the team we saw last night against Ellsbury, not like the team that took the Golden Sombrero on the road in Jacksonville during the County Market Winter Classic. Ritter looking for the 3-point play. Ritter had 8 last night. He's got 10 tonight, make it 11. Ritter hits, and the Raiders are 4 of 7 from the free throw stripe tonight. Raiders coming out with some extended 1-2-2 trapping pressure. Raiders get the steal in transition. Layup, Walls, bump, no call. He's going to go to the line now on a late call. He got pushed in the back. Was it Spear or was it Holtzen? Let's see who they get the call on. It is going to be whistled on Jackson. He came from the weak side. And back to the free throw stripe go the Raiders. This time it's Walls. Walls has 5, coming off his 17-point effort last night. His first free throw, he uses all of the rim. It goes in. You can do that. It's still worth 1. Danville's going to take the timeout in the middle of the 2 free throws. Coach LaFoon is not happy. He is dressing down his charges right out of the locker room. With Walls set to go back to the free throw stripe, we'll take the timeout as well. Raiders pulling away, leading 37-20 over Danville on WTAD.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
Walls goes back to the free throw stripe, looking to make both free throws. And he's just a little bit short on the second one. Sort of icing the kicker in the NFL. They have just iced Walls with the timeout. 3 on the other end is no good off the quick take by Holtzen. And the Raiders have the ball in the lead, 37-20. Now a steal by Danville, but Ramsey's able to get it back. This game has really become sloppy here in the last minute or so. Stella into the front court. Now the skip pass near side for Cramsey. Welper has it top of the key. Space on the backside. Fake 3 by Walls and back out top. They're going to go to Ritter now. Cramsey. Ritter right side. Looking for help. Ritter slowing it down. Looking for a backdoor run by Walls. That's covered up by the defense of Holtzen. Now Ritter's going to bounce it right side. Nobody picks up Walls. He'll take it into the lane. Kicks it out. Ritter for 3. That's good. Inside out. That's the way coaches like to take threes. Let the ball touch the paint and then come back out. Ritter hits it. The Raiders are up 40-20 on Danville. 3 out of the near side corner for Danville. Good from Sells. Sells, the substitute, he's got himself his first 3. Danville gets their first points of the half. Raiders lead 40-23. Inside put back. That's good for Welper. Welper's got 2 more. He's got 5 on the night, and the Raiders lead is 19. Raiders, they lose Shaka Sells on the back door. He skips it to Spear, their leading scorer. He splashes home a 3. Now, the Raiders have built a 19-point lead, so if Danville suddenly gets hot, the Raiders have plenty to weather the storm. Backdoor look. Raiders going to come outside, use some clock, and reset the offense. Raiders. Yes, when you play against an explosive team like Danville and you have a lead of 42-26, anytime you can bring the ball out and make Danville work a little harder, it's a good idea. 3 missed out of the corner by Ritter. First shot he's missed off the free throw line this half. Danville for Spear again. His 3 is good. He's got back-to-back threes. Here comes Danville. The most prolific offense in Iowa isn't going to be shut down for an entire game. Danville's got 9 of the last 11 points scored in a timeout called by the Raiders. Coach Sheffield wants to talk it over on the floor. Raiders up 42-29, but Danville surging on WTAD.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
Raiders bring it up the court out of the timeout. Far side for Cramsey. Reverses it to Ritter. Ritter back to Cramsey on the far side. Now the Raiders force it center of the floor with Walls. Raiders taking their time on the outside. Cramsey on the right side as the Raiders move right to left here in the second half. At the pit, leading Danville, Iowa, number 7 in Iowa's small school poll. 3 consecutive years they've been to the 1A Final Four. Danville looking to get back there this year. Raiders turn it over momentarily, middle of the floor, get it back now with Cramsey. Cramsey, far side. Back to Cramsey from Walls. Ritter's on the left, Walls on the right, trying to attack this now 1-3-1 zone from Danville. They flash into from a 2-3 to a 1-3-1. Ritter, 3, near side, won't go. Mayfield into the game for the Raiders, tries to chase down the offensive rebound, can't get there. To the near side, Spear takes it far side, Holtzen for 3. That's short, off the front of the iron. Holtzen saves it to Spear, and now straight away, Spear looks for his shot. Takes it between the legs, resets against this stretched 2-3 zone by the Raiders. Raiders with Walls and Cramsey at the top. They come out. Spear misses the 3. Loose ball on the floor. Stella has it, comes near side, Ritter. Ritter going to take his time, slow it down. And now Cramsey has it right in front of the Raider bench. Crossover move to the left hand, gets it baseline Walls. His layup won't go. Rebound, weak side, picked up there by Degendorf just into the game for Danville. Kick to the outside, 3 on the way from Holtzen is no good. Mayfield with a big rebound in traffic. 2 Danville players run into each other. 3-on-2 for the Raiders. Walls layup won't go. Mayfield follows up with a big putback at the front of the bucket. Well, Mayfield, he's got 2, and he earned that. He had to finish in traffic through some bumps. Raiders back up 15, 44-29. Near side, Spear. Over the top pass for Holtzen in the corner. Holtzen drives left elbow, kicks it back to Spear, gets to the baseline. His floater won't go. And Spear is a foul on the floor as he going to the line. Foul's going to be on the floor. Spear will be the inbounder for Danville. Right end baseline. Raiders going to bring Reese and Eaton back into the game. Raiders 5 on the floor. Reese, Eaton, Cramsey, Ritter, and Mayfield as the youth movement is evident right now. 2:45 to go third quarter. Raiders up 15, 44-29. Alley-oop in off the right side to Peebler. Peebler going low block. Turn around for Holtzen. Holtzen's fouled before the shot. That'll be the second foul of the half against Notre Dame. And they're going to get Mayfield with the push. Back to the right end baseline for Spear. Spear. Look for him to bring it in, and then they'll go right back to him if they get a chance. Peebler in the corner. Peebler, he wants to look down low for Holtzen. Holtzen turn around into the front of the rim, lays it up and in. Holtzen just made a great move. A little fake to the baseline and a shimmy shake out front, and he gets the easy 2. Raiders with possession in a 44-31 lead. Far side for Eaton, comes near side for Reese. Reese up the left wing, throws it back to Cramsey. Cramsey so patient with it, going to drive the lane, gets all the way to the rim. Blocked from behind by Peebler, and a chance for Danville to run. Here comes Jackson. Jackson tries to scoop it back to Peebler, and he'll be fouled. It's going to go on the baseline. Another one against Mayfield, I believe, underneath. Danville ball on the baseline. And the officials can't get together on the number. It's going to be Mayfield. Oh, they're going to get Reese on the hold. Mayfield came from behind and hit Jackson in transition, but they're going to get Reese on the hold. Johnny Ray into the game for the first time tonight. Ray didn't see the floor in the first half, but the freshman comes on now in place of Ritter as the Raiders are in the backcourt. Ray wrestles for an air ball rebound after Holtzen's missed 3. Gets tied up on the floor, and it's going to be Raider basketball as the ball went out of bounds. Last touch by Danville. 2:04 to play, third quarter at the pit. Notre Dame threatening to win 2 in a row. They're on top of highly regarded Danville, Iowa, 44-31 on WTAD. Far side for Reese. Reese into the front court. Johnny Ray wants to try the baseline. His backdoor pass to Mayfield is picked off, but Spear steps out of bounds. Raiders will have it left end of the floor. Under 2 minutes to play, third quarter. Reese. He's going to go to Cramsey, near wing. Cramsey back into the left side corner for Reese, who's a lefty shooter. Reese gets to the left elbow, backs it out, thinks about 3, dumps it down to Mayfield. He's double teamed, kicks it out to Eaton. His 3 is good. Mayfield, just so easy. He recognized the double team and slung it with one hand to the other side, setting up Eaton for 3. Raiders up 47-31, near side. Trying to strip it away from Sells. Now into the corner. 3 on the way from Holtzen. No good. Weak side rebound goes out of bounds off Sells, and it's going to stick with Danville. The Raiders got there with Ray and tipped it out, say the officials. 1:22 to go, third quarter. Raiders on top, 47-31. Into the corner. Danville in the hands of Peebler. Peebler, he's been limited to 3 points on the night, none here in the second half. Spear has 9, 6 of those coming here in the third quarter. High post. The turnaround by Degendorf doesn't get him anywhere. Fake 3 by Spear. His drive to 12 feet is good as he just elevated and sunk the mid-range jumper. Raiders on top, 47-33. 54 seconds to go, third quarter. Raiders attacking left to right, and it's going to be an over and back violation as Ray crossed up his point guard Cramsey and threw it into the backcourt. Coach Sheffield just telling Johnny Ray, the freshman, to calm down. Ray trying to really prove himself as he didn't see the court in the first half, but now he's in here in the third quarter. Raiders bring Stella back in for Cramsey, so Reese and Eaton will handle the ball in the offense. Reese with a near steal. Now a quick 3 off the near side. Spear is good. Well, what hand? You can't teach that. He caught a deflected pass with one hand and put up a quick shot, and it was an absolute swish. Right now it's a 5-0 run for Danville as the Raiders are on top, 47-36. Raiders' lead has been at least double digits since halftime. Raiders led 30-20 at the half, came out, scored 10 unanswered to start this second half, led 40-20. And since then, it's been a double-digit lead. Let's see if the Raiders can hold on to that. 30 seconds to go off the baseline. Stella out top for Ray. Comes to the left wing for Cade Walls. Walls, far side for Eaton. Eaton just going to walk it into the center circle now. He gets a pick from Stella. Stella was ready for the pick and roll on the backside. Eaton didn't even look at him. Eaton at the top. He wants a pick from Cade Walls. Now into the far side corner. Ray. Ray on the baseline. 12-foot jumper. Not going to go. Rebound fought for underneath. The push going to be whistled against Degendorf of Danville. And the Raiders will have it on the left-hand baseline. 5.2 seconds to go, third quarter. Leading 47-36. Stella looking for the backside pick. Eaton in the corner, double team. Reese, 2 seconds now. Reese is going to force it up. Nothing gets there off the front of the rim at the buzzer. Not going to go. And after 3 quarters, Notre Dame lengthens their lead from 10 at the half to 11 as we head to the fourth quarter. Notre Dame on top of Danville, 47-36 on WTAD.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
A funeral service is more than an end to life. It's a remembrance, a time to commemorate all that person meant to us.
My dad meant so much to us. It was hard to know where to begin.
Our caring staff will help you make it a fitting farewell with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
Holding on to a 47-36 lead over Danville. Danville has not been within single digits in this second half. Notre Dame moving right to left. Ray forces Spear into the backcourt, but it's going to be a foul against Notre Dame. Hand check. They're going to get Ray with that foul, his first for the Raiders, their fourth. Notre Dame on top, 47-36. Just underway, fourth quarter. Raiders had their best win of the year last night over Ellsbury. They get this one tonight. They will top last night's effort. Raiders playing a 2-3 zone, trying to force Danville out beyond the arc. The prolific three-point offense of Danville has sputtered here tonight. Spear for 3 out of the corner. Air ball. Offensive rebound. Put back. The hoop and the arm as the late push by Ritter couldn't deter Holtzen, and he's going to go to the line for a three-point play. Well, there it is. It's under 10 for the first time since the second quarter. The Raiders' lead is 47-38. Danville They've taken 20 threes in the game, and they've only hit on 7 of them. That's less prolific than they usually are. A push off of the free throw invalidates it, as a lane violation came with it. And the Raiders hold on to their 47-38 lead. Long pass over the top of the press from Danville, out of bounds, last touch by the Bears. And it'll be Raider basketball, far side sideline. Danville wearing their head-to-toe blue with the white letters, numbers, and accents down the side. Raiders at home with the white, the gold numbers and letters, and the blue accents. Raiders moving right to left here in the second half. Reese has it straight away. Pass over the top to Ritter, off his fingertips, now regains. Weak side open look for Walls. He's going to pass it up. Ritter's going to take the three on the ball reversal. No good. Rebound in the lane. Mayfield fights for it. Coming away with it is Danville. Ritter's missed his last 3 attempts from beyond the arc. Spear, you don't have to invite him to shoot. He goes down the right side of the lane, gets fouled on the floor, and it's going to be on Mayfield, as Mayfield got tangled up with him. Second foul against the freshman Mayfield. 7 minutes to go in the game. Danville has threatened to run several times, but has never come up with anything substantial. The Raiders have put the 2 biggest runs in this game together. They went on a 9-3 run to start the game. Answered that with an 8-4 run at the end of the first quarter. Rebound and putback is good for Peebler off the missed 3 on the outside by Spear. Peebler gets his first points of the second half, and that cuts the lead to 47-40 with Peebler going to the line. Raiders have also had a 10-0 run to start the third quarter, and now they want a timeout as Coach Sheffield sensing the momentum leaving the Raider bench. With Peebler about to go to the line, we'll step aside as well. Notre Dame gritting their teeth and holding on to a 47-40 lead over Danville on WTAD.
A funeral service is more than an end to life. It's a remembrance, a time to commemorate all that person meant to us.
My dad meant so much to us. It was hard to know where to begin.
Our caring staff will help you make it a fitting farewell with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
But Danville has scored all the points in this fourth quarter, and Peebler on the line. He finishes the three-point play on the offensive rebound and putback, and on the back of a 5-0 run, Danville has cut this to single digits for the first time since the first half. Notre Dame up by 6, 47-41. Now Danville with pressure in the backcourt. They foul Cramsey. Danville with their 4th team foul. The Raiders have put Danville into the bonus for the remainder of this game as well. That last foul on Peebler had the side effect of doing that. Danville shoots it well from the charity stripe, too. Raiders going to inbound it with Eaton on the far side. They're looking to spring Walls. He gets it at the free throw line in his own backcourt. Riley Walls coming off his 17-point game last night. He runs into Spear, has nowhere to go with it. Skip pass over the top to Eaton on the near side. Backdoor Stella, uncovered layup. Great find by Eaton, great finish by Stella. Stella's got 8 in the game tonight. Timeout called by Coach LaFoon of Danville. And we're going to keep it here as it's just a quick 20-second timeout. That bucket by Stella cuts off the 5-0 run by Danville to start the quarter and pushes the lead back to 49-41. As soon as this game is concluded here this evening at the Pit, we'll get on to the nightcap of our doubleheader. It's Notre Dame's ladies coming into this one at 23-2, taking on Rolling Meadows at 22-3. These are two of the top-tier programs in the state of Illinois. Last year, the Lady Raiders were able to just slide by Rolling Meadows 87-82. Notre Dame would go on to win their third consecutive state championship. Rolling Meadows, all they did was play for the 4A state title and come up just short. A loaded Rolling Meadows team returns to the pit tonight. Coming up next on WTAD. Raiders trying to exert some ball pressure in the backcourt, and Riley Walls makes the mistake of fouling Dylan Criswell. That's going to put Criswell and Danville on the line. We mentioned that the Raiders had put Danville in the bonus with 7 minutes to go in this game. And now Danville, just 37 seconds later, gets themselves to the line on a silly foul in the backcourt by Riley Walls. Criswell hits the first. He's got 3 on the night tonight. Criswell looks for another. One of the few seniors on this team for Coach LaFoon. He comes up empty. Stella in traffic comes away with the rebound. Then Eaton gets fouled on the near side by Criswell. The Raiders are going to have it just in front of the Danville bench. Danville giving up their 5th team foul. They have just one more to give before the Raiders can start getting Coach Sheffield's favorite pressure free throw shooter to the line. Young Mr. Cramsey. How often does a head coach say that about a true freshman? But that's his favorite free throw shooter. Outside 3 from Eaton is no good on the kick out by Ritter. And the Raiders have to get back defensively. Spear to the rim. His layup, no good. Tapped out. Chance for the Raiders to run. Down the floor. Kick it off to Stella. In traffic. He'll stop. Set it outside for Cramsey as the Raiders reset. 5:50 to play. Raiders on top, 49-42. Stella, 18-footer off the left wing is no good. Rebound fought for by Ben Welper on the weak side. Can't come away with it as Holtzen has it. On the run, far side. Holtzen going to take the 3. He's got it. Holtzen splashes it down. He comes into the game averaging 16 and a half for Danville. And all of a sudden, it's 49-45. The lead is just a 2-possession game for Notre Dame. They've led by as many as 20, but Danville putting their run together here at the pit. 5:15 to go. Raiders nearly throw it away. Stella cross court in the lane. Walls off glass. Won't go. Gets his own rebound. Down the right side. Kicks it out. Eaton fakes the 3. Gets in the lane. Over the head pass to Stella. Left baseline. Won't take the shot. Back outside to Eaton. Raiders want to reset. Welper working hard to post up. Raiders skip him. Eaton for 3. No good. Rebound on the outside by Spear. Eaton 1 for 6 from beyond the arc tonight as he's been cold shooting it. Quick 3 for Peebler. Won't go. Raiders get a big rebound by Eaton on the weak side. Peebler 0 for 2 from beyond the arc for Danville. They are over their 24-3 a game average now. Young man sitting next to me asked me if I'd take the under or over. I said if you put it at 30, I'd take the over with Danville. That is their 25th 3 attempt of the night. Raiders reset it outside, give it to Eaton. Man-to-man defense now from Danville as they've switched out of the 2-3 zone. Down the lane, Eaton hangs and hits over Holtzen. Eaton has been doing his work in the lane tonight, which is unusual for the young man. Raiders go back on top, 51-45, stretching out that lead to 6. 3 out of the corner. Danville can't get it off the hands of Peebler. Raiders have it, want to run, near side. Nobody picks up Eaton. Gets to the left elbow, crosses over, loses his feet. Seems with the dribble. The Globetrotters want to call him after the game after that move. Into the corner, Raiders swing it back to Eaton. Uncovered on the wing, he hits the 3. Eaton curls his index finger to his thumb on both hands and holds it up. He's got the 3. Timeout on the floor. The Raider lead is back to 9, 54-45. You're listening to Raider basketball as they lead Danville on Talk Radio 930 WTAD.
Culver Stockton Wildcat basketball is on WTAD. Listen in on February 27th as the Wildcat men's basketball team plays host to the Ravens of Benedictine College. Tip-off is set for 7:30 p.m. The Wildcats are looking to make it back to the NAIA National Tournament for the 2nd straight year. You can hear every second of the action on AM 930 WTAD. Culver Stockton Wildcat basketball takes on Benedictine College February 27th at 7:30 p.m. on AM 930 WTAD.
Raiders have their next game coming up Tuesday night right here at the pit on Talk Radio 930 WTAD. It'll be a 7 o'clock tip-off as the Raiders will see Sacred Heart Griffin come to the pit. That could be a postseason preview. We'll talk a lot more about the Raiders region, how the other teams are faring, and we'll revisit my forecast for how it'll be seeded, all coming up Tuesday night here at the pit on Talk Radio 930 WTAD. As for this one, Notre Dame leads Danville 54-45. The Raiders came into this one 6-14. Danville 14-3. The Raiders looking to sweep their games here at the Superfan Shootout this year. Danville down the lane, get it inside. Jackson finger roll, good for two. The lead is 54-47. Raiders trying to work through this man-to-man full court pressure now by Danville's Bears. Eaton on the far side. Quick pass over the top to Reese near side. The Raiders have found some shooting room with those lollipop over-the-top passes, but if Danville starts shooting the passing lanes, they may dry up. Eaton, quick three from straight away, no good. Rebound, Peebler in traffic. Peebler wants to start the break near side. They get it to Holton. He wants to go three. He's got it. Holton with his fourth three of the night as he's got 16, and the lead is 54-50. Raiders into the front court with Riley Walls. Jackson nearly wolfs him from behind. Now to Cramsey. Cramsey on the right side. He's going to get a pick from Stella. Cramsey dispossessed in the backcourt. Open field. Spear. Layup. Recovery. Good. And now Danville has cut it to two. This is the first time it's been a one-possession game since Notre Dame led 11-8 with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Timeout called by Coach Sheffield. Full timeout. We'll take it with him. 2.5 to go at the pit. Notre Dame on top of Danville. 54-52 on WTAD.
As a parent, I would recommend John Wood. There's a big misconception that you don't get the college experience until you actually go away to a school. Both of my daughters have thrived at John Wood. John Wood instructors and staff take a real serious interest. All of her classes transferred, no problem. John Wood gave both my kids a great start, a no-brainer for us. My name is Doug Porter, and I'm the proud father of 2 daughters who attended John Wood Community College. It's your college for your life.
Design, build, and transport products for the future right here at John Wood Community College. John Wood provides the training you need to get the good-paying job you want. Employers are looking for highly skilled technical workers in manufacturing, electrical, construction, computer-aided design, truck driver training. Getting started is easier than you think. Call John Wood today or go online at jwcc.edu. John Wood Community College. It's your college for your life.
That was Payson Seymour, number 1 in Class 1, and Madison, number 7, going head-to-head. Payson Seymour won that one 45-43 when Hildebrandt hit a jumper from the right elbow with 5 seconds to go. And they got their revenge on Madison, who knocked them out of the 1A playoffs last year of the Super Sectional 66-60. This one coming right down to the wire, and then the top of the card, the Lady Raiders and Rolling Meadows coming up right after we conclude this action here on WTAD. Raider basketball right in front of their own bench with Riley Walls, the trigger man. Man-to-man defense by Danville on the out-of-bounds pickup. Raiders up by 2. 2:30 to go. Raiders into the backcourt with Cramsey. Cramsey going to be guarded by Sells. The two diminutive points going back and forth. Stella now offset right, gets it to Reese. Raiders haven't been challenged since early in the first quarter on any particular possession. A push against Danville is going to be the last foul that they have to give, or will that be a 1-and-1? Quick trigger by the official scorer here at the pit, and that is going to be a 1-and-1 for Reese. So that is the 7th team foul by Danville here in the second half. Reese goes to the line. He's got 3 points on the night. He hit his first look from 3, and he's 0 for 2 from beyond the arc since then. Stella brings the team together right at the free throw line as they're about to talk it over. And now they check the book, and that will be only the 16th foul. I thought that was just the 16th foul. So the Raiders will not get the free throws. Instead, it'll be Raider basketball, left end baseline. Raiders are going to go to the bench, bring in Mayfield. Mayfield comes in quickly for Reese here. And Coach Bonnett's talking it over with Reese about what he sees from the young man during the offense. Stella, the trigger man on the baseline, gets it into Mayfield. Mayfield in the corner. Everybody passes him up. Now Cramsey goes straight away to Ritter. Ritter on the right side gets double covered. Mayfield pops out to help. Left side, entry pass from Walls. Stella, blast, won't go. Stella was wide open, didn't know it, thought about it 3 times, and let the defense catch up to him. Now the Raiders come back, set up their 2-3 zone. Quick look in the corner. Holtzen takes it to Jackson, now on the right wing. Set it straight away for Spear, the team's leading scorer. Spear, he's got 16 tonight, as does Holtzen. From the outside, Holtzen on the left. Near side Sells. Open look. Jackson in the corner. His 3 won't go. Stella, a big rebound in traffic. He picks it up. 90 seconds to go now. Raiders on top, 54-52, as the pit is electric, truly, for the first time this season for the Raiders. Into the lane goes Cramsey. A blocking foul against Danville, and this is going to put the Raiders on the line with a 1-and-1. And it's Cramsey, Coach Shetfield's #1 choice to go to the line for the Raiders in pressure situations. That's saying a lot for a high school freshman. Cramsey was 4 for 4 in the last minute of play from the line last night in a game the Raiders would hold on to win 53-48 over Ellsbury. Cramsey swishes the first. Now you know why the coach wants this youngster at the line. 55-52, Raiders on top. Minute 22 to go. Cramsey's next is short. Rebound Mayfield takes it up, lays it up and in. A freshman to a freshman on that big offensive rebound. Raiders get 3 out of that trip and lead 57-52. Danville on the outside. Sells, can't sell that fake. Gets it to Spear, right side. The leading scorer fades outside. Cross-court pass. Holtzen 3. That's too strong. Rebound, weak side is up. It's good. Jackson going to go to the line for the hoop and the harm. He's been doing the dirty work here down low in the second half for Danville, and he's about to get paid off. Raiders lead is 3, 57-54. 59 seconds to go. Jackson at the line looking for the 3-point play. He's got 8 on the night. Peebler has had a tough time shooting it tonight for Danville, and right now he is out of the game. Spear on the line, looking to get any rebound that might come off. The free throw from Jackson is good, and we're back to a 2-point game. 57-55, 58 seconds to go. Raiders get it into Cramsey. Cramsey guarded by Sells, takes it up the far side sideline. He's got room to run. Gets it to Walls. Walls wants to set it back to Ritter, but that pass is covered. Left elbow gets it to Reese. It's Ritter, Stella, Walls, Reese, and Cramsey on the floor for the Raiders. Ritter now to Walls in the corner. Back out to Ritter. Walls gets bumped, and he's going to go to the line. That was Spear with the push. And Riley Walls, who had 17 in the win over Ellsbury last night, goes to the line. He's got 6 on the night so far. 1 of 4 from the free throw line, but he has uncharacteristically struggled from there tonight. Raiders, 40 seconds to go. Lead at 57-55. Riley Walls at the line for the first of a 1-and-1 opportunity. He misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Raiders need to throw a strong defensive stop on Danville. The most prolific offense in Iowa, looking for 2 to tie and 3 to go ahead. Final seconds here at the pit. Raiders up 57-55. Into the corner. 3 out of the deep corner. That's no good for Peebler. Stella's got the rebound. He's hit, and he's going to go to the line. Peebler got him. Peebler punched at the ball to knock it out of bounds, and he got too much of Stella. They've been playing a little offense-defense substitution with Peebler. I don't know why. Maybe they just not impressed with his defense, Coach LaFoon's staff. He has just now 2 fouls, and Stella goes back to the line where he's 2 for 2 tonight. 20 seconds to go. Stella hits the first free throw. That makes it a 3-point game. He can make it a 2-possession game with 20 seconds to go with this free throw. Stella at the line. Too hard. Big rebound. Mayfield lunges for it. Cramsey's got it. Another freshman with a big rebound in traffic off a missed free throw. And Cramsey's going to go to the line as he's fouled by Danville. Well, the Raiders are living with contributions from their young men who were playing great school basketball a season ago. Raiders up by 3, 58-55. Cramsey on the line. First free throw is good. Cramsey 2 out of 3 from the line tonight. That makes it a 2-possession game with 16 seconds to go, and now the Raiders are going to pull all their men into the backcourt. No one on the rebounding lane for Cramsey. Cramsey steps up, knocks it down. 60-55. Raiders on top. Danville's got to go quick. Spear down the lane. Blocked by Mayfield, out of bounds. The freshman comes up with a big block. He looked like Clint from Payson Seymour in the game before us, coming up with a big stop. 15 seconds, now 10 seconds. Outside, Holton. He's going to take a long three. That's off to the left. Air ball pushed by Stella in the back, and he's going to send the substitute, Criswell, to the free throw stripe. That air ball by Holton, and he has had a rough time shooting it tonight. Holton is just 4 of 11 from beyond the arc. 6.7 seconds to go. Raiders lead by 5, 60-55. Criswell on the line. He's got 3 on the night, 1 of 2 from the stripe. He hits this one, now 2 of 3. Criswell looks for another. Down 4, you can't miss it and hope to tap it out. You need this point. Criswell hits it. 57-60. Raiders on top. Timeout. We're going to keep this one here at the pit and reset it for these final excitement-filled 6.7 seconds. Full timeout taken by the Raiders, as Coach Sheffield wants to make sure his charges are all on the same page. He told the team before the game tonight, we lost 6 in a row. We stopped that, rebooted the program, came back with a big win last night over Ellsbury, 53-48. That's 1 win. You get another one tonight, that's 2 in a row. You win 3 in a row here at home, suddenly you've got a streak going for you. Before you can get to 3, you got to get 2, and the Raiders are trying to get their 2nd in a row right here over Danville this evening. The Raiders, who have struggled this year, the only time they have won 2 in a row this season was during the State Farm Holiday Classic, when they won their 3rd and 4th games there after their loss to St. Joe Ogden in round 2 and finished in 5th place. So the Raiders, with a win tonight, would have just their 2nd 2-game win streak of the year. They're up 60-57, 6.7 to go at the pit. Stella to inbound it. They'll run a pick, bring it near side for Ritter. Ritter's going to be fouled immediately by Jackson as 3 seconds come off the clock. And Ritter's going to go to the line with a chance to ice it. Double bonus for both teams now. Ritter will get 2. Ritter, 8 in the first half, 14 on the night. He's 1 of 2 from the stripe. Early in the season, it looked like he was going to team with Barry Welper to be the heart of this team's offense. But he's had some inconsistent games in the middle of the season. Now Ritter hits a free throw, and that should salt it away for the Raiders. They're up 61-57 with just 4.9 to go. 62-57 as he hits them both. Danville into the front court, on the run. Spear, his 3 won't go. Time runs out, and the Raiders have a 2-game winning streak. Upsetting 14-3 Danville, the most prolific offense in the state of Iowa. He's held to 57 points at the pit tonight as the Raiders get the win, 62-57. We'll have all the particulars coming up for you in the postgame show. The Raiders have turned their season around, taking time over a 2-week break to reset both mentally and physically. They've come out and swept their assignments here at the Superfan Shootout and now improved to 7-14, but 2-0 since that break to start the month of February. The Raiders over Danville tonight, 62-57. More in the postgame show coming up next on WTAD.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
Raiders win a thriller, 62-57 over Danville. Unfortunately, it came down to the wire. The Raiders led 40-20 midway through the third quarter. Danville went on a 37-22 run to finish it out and made it close down the stretch. Danville cut what was once a 20-point Raider lead down to as little as 57-55 before the Raiders were able to pick up 5 points and salt it away at the end. The Raiders win it over Danville tonight, 62-57, improving to 7-14 on the season. They've now won 2 in a row for just the second time this year. Danville sees their 3-game losing streak broken, or 3-game win streak broken, rather. They fall to 14-4 for Danville. For the Raiders this evening, it was Stella with 9. Riley Walls had 6 on the evening. Cade Walls, no points, but a big effort on the boards. It was Cramsey as he stepped up, hit his key free throws late, though he did only have 7 points in the game. Making 3 out of 4 with less than 90 seconds to go was a big difference in this game. Ritter had 8 in the first half, ended up with 16 to be the Raiders' leading scorer. Reese had 3 off the bench. Eaton, he had a big night off the bench for the Raiders as he had 12. Welper threw in 5, and Mayfield had 4 of his own. The Raiders 7 of 22 from beyond the arc, 11 of 19 from the free throw stripe. Danville, 31 threes. They averaged 24 a game. They attempted 31 tonight, but hit just 9. And the Raiders didn't put up Danville on the line too often, as Danville was 5 of 8 from the free throw stripe. We'll take a look at Danville's numbers and wrap up our thoughts before the head coach, Bob Shetfield, joins us. And we'll be transitioning to our final game of our doubleheader tonight. The Lady Raiders of QND taking on Rolling Meadows. That's all still to come. We'll talk it over with the head coach next on WTAD. Join me, and we'll get you ready for the final matchup of the weekend in the KHQA Subway Superfan Shootout. No less than 2 of the best girls teams in the state of Illinois will be the final battle tonight. Notre Dame and Rolling Meadows We'll take you on a countdown to tip-off coming up next on WCAD.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust, said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
Nightcap of our doubleheader on Talk Radio 930 WTAD. The Raiders knock off Danville 62-57. Now the Lady Raiders of Notre Dame about to take on Rolling Meadows, the Lady Mustangs, and this is a heavyweight battle. The Raiders 23-2 have won 6 in a row. Rolling Meadows 22-3 has won 5 in a row. The Lady Raiders have won 3 consecutive basketball state titles. Rolling Meadows finished runner-up in Class 4A last year. These are 2 franchises that define themselves by playing the very best that can be found, and they'll run back a classic game from last year here tonight. To help me through this one, I'm just going to try and keep up with her and this game, is Raider Hall of Famer Lori Vogel. Good evening and welcome back. 1 year ago, we had a game that really kind of defined both of these teams.
Yes, it was. It's probably the best high school girls basketball game I have ever seen. 2 high-powered offenses, 2 high-powered defenses. The girls all played with class. It was just a great game to watch. Both teams well coached. Girls doing the fundamental things correctly. It was a lot of fun.
Last year's game went to Notre Dame 87-82. Both of these programs like to get up and down the floor, but I'll dare say that the Raiders may not want to play a game in the 80s tonight. Gone 52 points of that 87 with Cassidy Ginenbacher, and Jordan Frericks having graduated from the program. Those 2 ladies combined for 52 of that 87, while Rolling Meadows is rolling deep with talent, and it's all back. 4 Division I signees will be seen here tonight, led by Gatorade All-American Jackie Kemp at the point.
Well, certainly QND's not going to want to get in a foot race with Rolling Meadows tonight, and it's no secret their offensive production is down. You don't replace a Jordan Frericks or a Cassidy Ginenbacher. You know, they finished 1 and 2 all-time in scoring, so that's a lot of scoring that they're not going to have. But what the Lady Raiders do well is that they play defense and they play hard, and they're going to have to play some really good defense tonight. Not only are the players a little bit more talented, but they're also a lot taller, so they're at a serious size disadvantage.
Would you like to be Cassidy Foley? She's going to be charged with following Jackie Kemp all over the floor tonight.
No, I wouldn't, but I know Cassidy Foley, and I can tell you she's looking forward to it. She's that kind of kid.
She is the defensive stopper for the Raiders this year. It will be her job to shut down Jackie Kemp and the spearhead of this Rolling Meadow offense. We'll talk a little bit more about these 2 powerhouses, and we'll introduce you to their starting lineup as we get set for the nightcap tip-off. Notre Dame and Rolling Meadows coming up on WCAD.
A funeral service is more than an end to life. It's a remembrance, a time to commemorate all that person meant to us.
My dad meant so much to us. It was hard to know where to begin.
Our caring staff will help you make it a fitting farewell, with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust, said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. That was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
Welcome back to the pit. Sean Sechrist joined by Raider Hall of Famer Lori Vogel for this women's heavyweight showdown on WTAD. Lori, the Lady Raiders, number 3 in Class 3 this season with their gaudy 23-2 record and 6-game winning streak, while Rolling Meadows is number 3 in Class 4 at 22-3 and a 5-game winning streak. These are 2 teams that define each other by how their success comes, not only against the top teams in the state, but how well they do at the top levels of competition, which is the state tournament. The Lady Raiders have won 3 in a row. Rolling Meadows finished the runner-up last year in 4A. They're loaded. They're going to be the number 1 contender in my mind for the 4A state title, while the Lady Raiders really didn't know what to expect coming into this year with all the turnover they've had from their recent success. How do you see this one tonight?
Well, both of these teams, when they take the court, they expect to win. That's what good programs do. And both of these programs have a lot of tradition. They've been to the state tournament several times, and they just expect to win every time they take the floor, no matter who's on the floor.
Well, we were a little bit of a jinx, may I say, for Coach Orn's team. The one game that we carried so far was the game against Incarnate Word, where the Lady Raiders lost. That was a 67-game winning streak that went by the board earlier this year. The Lady Raiders lost that game 52-32. The only other game they've lost this year was a 1-point game to Morton in the Galesburg tournament over MLK Day, 50-49. Since then, the Raiders have won 6 in a row, including last night's 89-33 demolition of Clopton. That was unfortunate in a way. I talked with Chris Dewar this week about the games that really put this Superfan Shootout on the map when it was started 8-9 years ago, and it was these Lady Raiders in Clopton that really got everybody's attention.
Well, Clopton's a little down over the years. They've been a great program, and the Lady Raiders really are having a hard time finding someone close to here to play. It's a nice problem to have, but they're having to call in teams from Chicago.
So the tip is up, and we are set to go. Out of bounds on the far side. Let's meet the starters for the Lady Raiders. It's going to be Gengenbacher, Obert, Keating, Hugenberg, and Foley. We talked about the matchup with Foley on Kemp defensively, as the Lady Raiders will play man-to-man all over the floor. For Rolling Meadows, Kemp, Kay, Villette, Glasgow, and Montanez. You'll recognize some of those games from last year. Kemp had 21 in the loss. Villette had 17. Glasgow had 27. Montanez was kept to 4, though, as the Lady Raiders were able to shut down at least one facet of this Rolling Meadows attack. The Lady Mustangs with the ball, wearing the head-to-toe black with the purple emphasis on the sides, and the neon bright yellow tennis shoes. Spinning into the lane is Kemp, and she's got the first points of the night. Kemp with the 2, and it's 2-0 Rolling Meadows as we are underway. Lady Raiders moving left to right here in the first quarter. They'll set it out to the elbow for Foley. Foley spins back out between the circles. Foley comes near side for Gengenbacher. Gengenbacher straight away for Keating. Keating on the far side now for Foley in the corner. Get an elbow jumper look for Obert. Drives it down the baseline. Layup won't go. Weak side rebound picked up by Villette. Into the front court comes Kemp. The reigning Gatorade Player of the Year. Her 3. Inside out, no good. Weak side rebound for Gengenbacher. Rolling Meadows up 2-0. Lady Raiders look to get on the board. Underneath layup, no good. Hugenberg taken away inside by Montanez. And now into the hands of Villette. They'll find Kemp. Lori, what's the Lady Raiders' hurry on the offensive end? They look like they're going very quickly.
They're going very quickly. They look just a little bit nervous, and I'm sure that Coach Orn told them, just get in there, go after it, and attack the basket. I think they're just attacking it a little bit too early.
Kemp gets inside, gets fouled. Shot won't count. Kemp will have it on the left end baseline. Four-corner stack, bring it in off the wing to Villette. Villette straight away now to Kemp. Inside to Villette, kicks it outside, weak side for Kay, but the travel by Villette is going to result in a turnover. 2-0. This one has all the air of a Final Four game about it, right down to nerves by two very good teams and a low-scoring opening stanza. 2-0, 90 seconds in. Notre Dame and Rolling Meadows here at the pit on Talk Radio 930 WTAD. Around the perimeter for Obert. Lady Raiders on the left side, moving left to right. Straight away for Foley. Now to the right side for Ginnenbacher. Ginnenbacher, part of the prolific sisters that have come through here. All can be found on the all-time scoring list. Underneath, layup. It goes for Mary Beth Hugenberg. Hugenberg ties us at 2 off the left low post. Raiders get beat back down the floor. Interior passes. Kay tries to find Glasgow. It's kicked. And it'll stay with Rolling Meadows on the left end. 6 minutes to go. 2-2 our score. Lady Raiders man-to-man defense. Going to get it in quickly to Glasgow. She gets to the right elbow. Wants to throw it up. Gets fouled, and she'll go to the line.
Well, that's just how smart she is. She was looking to pass, and she saw Kristen Ginnenbacher all over her. So she went up knowing she wasn't going to make that shot. She was just drawing a foul.
Alexis Glasgow. She is one of the 4 D1 signees. She steps up, hits the free throw, makes it 3-2. Glasgow is going to Northwestern. Jackie Kemp and Jenny Villette are going to St. Louis University. And Ashley Montanez is signed with Indianapolis. They're in the Great Lakes Valley Conference. 2 free throws, both good. Glasgow's got 2. And it's a 4-2 lead for Rolling Meadows over Notre Dame. 5:55 to go first quarter. Raiders bring it into the front court. Crossover by Obert. She wants to go to the left side. Gets help from Hugenberg at the point. Backside set up for Ginnenbacher. Ginnenbacher looking down low. Raiders want to twirl it out to Foley. Sets up on the baseline. Jumper's good from Quinna Keating. Keating ties us up at 4.
Well, the Raiders are doing a nice job of setting that up. Their movement off of the ball is what they're really going to need to do because they're playing a great man-to-man, and the Raiders are moving very well on offense.
Glasgow stutter step called for the travel, and the Raiders get it back. Chance to go on top for the first time tonight. We're tied 4-4. Lady Raiders, they've made their first couple of looks from the low post in the game tonight. And now they're trying to force it back inside. Ginnenbacher swings right to left along the baseline. Hugenberg outside. Obert looking low for Keating. Can't get it there. Now Foley down the lane. Pulls up from 12. Tries to alley-oop it down to Keating. That's picked off. Kemp's going to go the other way. Gets fouled. No call. Raiders have the rebound. Raiders got a break that time as the action happened too fast for the official. Ginnenbacher loses it on the way up in the lane. Ball is loose. Obert with a nasty-looking split as she rolled her right ankle over as she tried to go for that loose ball. She bounces right back up. But that was a nearly horrifying move by the young lady for the loose ball. Raiders want to make their first substitutions of the night. They're going to bring in Mackenzie Foley and Hannah Marcola. Raiders all tied with Rolling Meadows, 4-4. Rolling Meadows on the outside with Montanez. Get it down low for Villette. On the block, short jumper is good. Well, they can spread it around with the best of them.
They sure can, and they just attack the basket, and eventually that just wears the defense down. And they're all great passers, and you can tell that they've played together for a long time because they know where each other are at all the time.
Raiders on the outside with Foley. Foley wears that right knee brace. Now to her sister, Foley, on the far side. Comes straight away for Marcola just into the game. She sets a pick for Foley. Back outside to Ginnenbacher. Ginnenbacher off the left wing. Gets it into the hands of Hugenberg. Hugenberg skip pass to the right wing where she tries to hook it up with Foley. Around the perimeter, now back to Ginnenbacher. Man-to-man defense from Rolling Meadows, not giving the Raiders any angles to attack. Baseline drive, Foley, 6-foot runner. He's an air ball. Picked up by Villette. Her outlet pass to Kemp. Kemp, she's going to be hit. No call again. Kemp has gotten worked over in transition a couple times, but to the young lady's credit, she hasn't kind of pouted or looked at the officials for a bailout. She's just played through the contact and is upset with herself for missing the 2 layups. We're still at 6-4. Rolling Meadows on top of Notre Dame. 3:37 to go, opening quarter. Sean Secrease along with Raider Hall of Famer Lori Vogel. Bruce Terstege staying up past his bedtime in the WTAD studios for the nightcap. Raiders on the reversal. It's Marcola diving inside is Foley. Now she'll walk it back out. Foley straight away, looks to the right side, picks up Ginenbacher. Foley down low, Hugenberg out to the top. Hugenberg into the far corner for Foley. They're trying to set up Marcola on the inside. Foley works it on the outside. The Foley sisters, along with Ginenbacher, Marcola, and Hugenberg on the floor for the Raiders. Spin move by Ginenbacher into the right side corner for Foley. Foley going to take the lane. Great drop pass to Marcola. Layup is good.
Marcola is really working hard down there. Montanez is just about to beat her to death.
Glasgow gets fouled as she tries the counterattack. Well, the Raiders are working so hard on the offensive end right now that they're not getting back in transition, and Rolling Meadows is trying to just beat them down the floor for easy transition buckets.
Well, and they're doing that right now, and the Raiders are starting to look a little bit tired. Some of the kids are starting to grab their shorts right now. This is a really fast-paced game, and that's maybe going to hurt the Raiders because their bench isn't very deep this year.
Glasgow hits from the free throw line and breaks our tie. It's 7-6, Rolling Meadows up first quarter. Coach Orn going with a great sport coat. No tie, though, tonight.
No, but he's got to be hot. I'm hot.
Second free throw goes down for Glasgow. She's 4 for 4 from the line. It thought about popping out, but stayed down. 8-6, Rolling Meadows on top of the Lady Raiders. Straight away, look for Marcola. Gets down to the right wing. Just a rushed shot. It's an air ball from Foley. And a chance for Rolling Meadows to run again to the near side. Ball is loose on the floor. Picked up by Obert. And a timeout called by Coach Orn. He just wants to settle his young ladies down as they trail in this one 8-6 with 2:30 to go in the opening quarter. You're listening to the Lady Raiders on AM 930 WTAD.
As a parent, I would recommend John Wood. There's a big misconception that you don't get the college experience until you actually go away to a school. Both of my daughters have thrived at John Wood. John Wood instructors and staff take a real serious interest. All of her classes transferred, no problem. John Wood gave both my kids a great start, a no-brainer for us. My name is Doug Porter, and I'm the proud father of 2 daughters who attended John Wood Community College. It's your college for your life.
WTAD. 2 likely #1 seeds in the postseason going at it tonight. Notre Dame and Rolling Meadows. Rolling Meadows up 8-6. Lady Raiders take it over the top, down to the low post. Layup no good from Keating. On the run, it's Kemp. She'll be playing at SLU next year. Her left-handed layup won't go on the scoop, and she'll go to the free throw line.
Well, right now, Rolling Meadows offense is their guards are releasing early, and they're just fast breaking. QND's doing everything they can to sprint back and get back, but the Rolling Meadows guards just go right at them, and they're just fouling them.
Kemp misses her first free throw. It's a reminder, tonight's game being broadcast at QuincyJournal.com. Surf over on your tablet, your smartphone, your laptop, or even if you've still got an old desktop. You can surf over to QuincyJournal.com, click the QJ TV tab, and enjoy tonight's TV broadcast at QuincyJournal.com. Yes, you'll still get to hear the Hall of Famer, as our broadcast will be overlaid on it. Second free throw is no good, and the push foul against Rolling Meadows. They're going to get Montanez for the overly zealous blockout. That might be the last time this year Kemp misses on both trips to a free throw line. 2:05 to go. Lady Raiders down in the middle of the lane for Keating. She fumbles the pass. Chance for Kemp to run. Kemp goes right to left. Looks to turn around in the lane. She's being harassed down low. Obert takes it away from her, and the Lady Raiders have a chance to run. Keating all by her lonesome. 4-foot jumper is a switch.
And that's the first transition basket from the Lady Raiders tonight.
8-8. Lady Raiders with a steal. Hugenberg's layup no good, but she's fouled by Villette. Minute 41 to go, first quarter. The Lady Raiders starting to see some of that tempo and oomph that we've known this program for over the last 5 years.
Well, on those made baskets that they get in transition, then they can set up in their press, and that's what they feed off of. Their best offense is their defense, and they haven't been able to set up their press successfully until that last time.
Hugenberg hits the free throw, and that's the first lead for the Raiders at 1:41 to go here in this first quarter. Hugenberg, the lefty. She's got almost a shot put release, but she gets them both. She's got 4. She and Keating each with 4. Raiders lead 10-8 over Rolling Meadows. Rolling Meadow, Montanez. She has it stolen from her by Foley. Lady Raiders starting to roll now as they come to the near side. Leading with possession, 10-8. Foley going to back it out into the center circle. Far side. They pick up a pick for Foley. Over the top to Hugenberg. Great two-man game, and the layup just missed. Put back by the Raiders on the near side is good. And Obert, unsung at times, she puts the Lady Raiders up 4. On the run, Kemp, a running left-hander as she just beats everyone down the floor. She's got 4. The lead is back to 2. Lady Raiders, quick look on the inside. Hugenberg, no good. Rebound, Villette. Chance to run it out for Glasgow. She can't handle the outlet pass. It's out of bounds, back to Notre Dame. 58 seconds to go first quarter, and we got a barn burner, 12-10.
Erica Obert has just been hustling and hustling up and down the court. She's got a couple loose balls. She's diving for balls. She goes in, gets that offensive rebound, and puts it back. She does a lot of things that you're not going to see or hear about, but she's very important to this team.
Obert brings it into the front court. Crossover, now back. She comes to the right side. Resets between the circles, face guarded by Kay. Backdoor run for Foley. Foley layup won't go. Rebound in the lane, tries to get her own, and she fouls Villette. Well, unfortunately for the Raiders, that is the last foul they had to give. Rolling Meadows is going to be in the bonus for the remaining 8 minutes and 42 seconds of this first half. Raiders on top, 12-10. Rolling Meadows about to inbound it with Montanez. Looking to get Kemp. Raiders pick it off, lay it up and in. That's just a mental lapse by Montanez. Great steal by Foley. She's got her first 2 of the night. Raiders up 14-10. Villette runs it into the front court. Looks to the corner for Kay. Back out top for Kemp. Down the lane, left-handed layup's good. Raiders with no interior defense to stop Kemp.
They kind of fell asleep there, and Rolling Meadows is just, they make 1 or 2 passes, and they've got a shot up. They're not afraid to shoot the ball. Well,
Rolling Meadows just so well schooled under head coach Ryan Kokorski. Long shot from the outside, 3 no good by Foley. Rebound underneath Hugenberg. It's tapped out. Last touch by Rolling Meadows. Stay with the Raiders right into the floor. 10 seconds to go. First quarter. Notre Dame on top of Rolling Meadows, 14-12. Raiders gonna enter it. Get it to Hugenberg. Her turnaround 6-footer, no good. Raiders have the rebound in traffic. Tried a short pass on the interior. That's intercepted by Rolling Meadows. Glasgow stops for the 3 as time expires. Air ball. And that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. The Raiders come back from down early 4-2 and lead it 14-12. Neither team has led by more than 4 here in the first quarter. The second quarter, it comes up next on WTAD.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
Second quarter, Hall of Famer Lori Vogel, your thoughts on quarter number 1?
I thought it was a very well played quarter. I think where QND, the one thing that they can be successful at tonight is Rolling Meadows has had some missed blockouts assignments, so it's going to be hugely important that they hit the offensive boards.
Raiders into the front court, middle of the lane. Keating, jump shot good from right in front of the rim. They found the soft spot against the zone, and Keating's got 6 to lead all scorers. Raiders up 16-12. Rolling Meadows having trouble with the Raider pressure. Get it up the far side to Kay. Kay must feel like she's out there all alone. The only one on the floor not signed to a D1 scholarship for Rolling Meadows. Kay, dribble drive. Raiders cut her off. Ball's loose on the floor. Front of the rim. Glasgow gets the loose ball. Won't go. Montanez tries to put it away. Can't finish. Raiders have it on the rebound. Foley feeling her hairline as she comes up. She took an elbow to the top of the head. No blood. She'll carry on. Far side, Hugenberg. Back to Foley. Now straight away. Foley on the dribble drive left. She's going to get a pick from Hugenberg. Hugenberg fades away, takes the pass. Now near side, Foley. Looking down low for Keating. Ginnenbacher, top of the key. She goes down the lane. Shot blocked. Chance for Kemp to run out front. Kemp going to try and beat Foley down the floor. Kemp layup good.
That was a D1 shot right there. Boy, I'd hate to have to guard her. She is fast.
3 out of the far side corner is good for Hugenberg. Hugenberg now has 7. And the Raiders hit their first 3 of the game, trying to answer. It's a 3 from Glasgow the other way. We're playing anything you can do, I can do better tonight at the pit.
It's a track meet.
Well, those were the first 3s of the night that either team has hit, and they come right on each other's heels. 6:10 to go in the first half. Raiders in the front court, moving left to right. Straight away, Ginnenbacher thinks about 3, fakes the drive on Kemp, fades to the left wing. Straight away for Hugenberg. Hugenberg goes right wing now. She picks up Foley. Inside foul. Down on the floor was Foley. And now Glasgow is doubled over in pain. She took a shot after the whistle. She's looking to walk it off as she comes to center court. Glasgow. First substitutions of the game for Rolling Meadow coming in. They're going to bring in Ashley Kemp. She's the senior. And it's going to be Humphrey coming in as well. Raiders on the right side have it with Ginnenbacher. Ginnenbacher, she's face guarded by Kemp. Ginnenbacher works it free straight away to Marcola. Marcola, she's just swallowed up by Montanez, and a travel call against Marcola. She got a little nervous and got happy feet when Montanez was all over her.
She kind of got there in no man's land. She picked up the ball before she knew who she was going to pass it to, and that's never a good plan.
Lady Raiders leading Rolling Meadows 18-17. Should be 19-17 according to my book. It was a 3 out of the corner by Marcola. And now the foul on the other end, and the Raiders are going to have it on the left end baseline. I think they gave Hugenberg a 2 on that. Foot must have been on the line. Marcola had the 2. So we'll make it 18-17. I thought I saw the far side official indicate the 3. Dribble drive into the front court. Lady Raiders look to set it up, and now a travel against Marcola. She's been whistled for the same violation on back-to-back trips. Let's see if Coach Orn wants her to just settle down a bit. She's been a big part of this rotation, part of that top 8 for the Lady Raiders. Raiders with their press, trying to cut it off with Billette in the backcourt. Raiders have the steal. It's Marcola. Hit from behind by Kemp, and Kemp fouled her right across the wrists.
Kemp didn't think she touched her, but it was so blatant I could see it all the way up here.
And your vision is 2020?
No. It's bad.
5:10 to go first half. 18-17, Lady Raiders on top. Ginnenbacher with the ball. Lady Raiders straight away. Marcola just dances across the top of the key, and it's another travel call. The young lady just looks a little out of sorts right now, and the Raiders are going to bring Keating back in for Marcola. Marcola. She gets some quick words of encouragement from Coach Orn, and she'll be back in this game before long. Lady Raiders trying to pressure Rolling Meadows in the backcourt. Kemp brings it into the front court. She hooks up with Glasgow. Glasgow tries a little one-handed, ill-advised push pass to the near side for Allie Kemp. And lucky that Rolling Meadows gets it back. Quickly inside, turnaround by Montanez won't go. Picked up at the front of the rim by Volette. She gets fouled, and Volette will go to the line. Lady Raiders now, their lack of interior presence without the elder Ginnenbacher, without Jordan Frericks from last year's team, starting to show some cracks on the defensive boards as Rolling Meadows getting extra looks now.
Yes, and it's hard for them to match up with their size, and they're kind of missing some block-out assignments right now, and you can't let a team like Rolling Meadows get 2 and 3 shots at the basket.
First free throw is good by Volette. She has 3. Looks for another, and it's good. Rolling Meadows team is so well coached, so fundamentally sound in everything they do. 19-18, Rolling Meadows on top. 4:50 to go, first half. Ginnenbacher fades to the right side. Man-to-man defense by Rolling Meadows. Hugenberg, backdoor pass, Obert. Shot blocked by Montanez. She came from the other side of the lane and blocked Obert. Chance to run now. Glasgow going to take the 3 in transition. She nails it.
She's going to have a nice college career. She doesn't have, it's not a set shot for her. She's catching that ball and throwing it right up.
Raiders now trail 22-18. This is the biggest deficit the Raiders have faced so far tonight. Top of the key, Obert fumbles the pass, had an open look, stays cool-headed, and gets the ball outside to Foley. Foley drives it into the land of the trees, throws up an air ball, and a chance for Rolling Meadows to run if they want to. 4 minutes to go, first half. Rolling Meadows gets it to Glasgow. She's hit back-to-back threes. Now Volette, now Kay. Kay between the circles, left end of the floor, gets to the left elbow, down low Montanez, rolls it into the lane, backdoor look, Allie Kemp, and that's good for 2. Timeout taken by Coach Horn. Right now, Rolling Meadows is on a roll. They're on a 10-0 run and lead Notre Dame 24-18. We'll take a timeout with them on Talk Radio 930 WTAD.
A funeral service is more than an end to life. It's a remembrance, a time to commemorate all that person meant to us.
My dad meant so much to us. It was hard to know where to begin.
Our caring staff will help you make it a fitting farewell with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
Talk Radio 930 WTAD. Sean Seacrease along with, 18-time Raider Hall of Famer Lori Vogel. Lady Raiders on the far side. Dribble drive Hugenberg. She's fouled. Go to the line. Can you count that high?
I don't really know.
Between all your individual honors and then the team honors, of course.
I think it's around 11.
Who's been inducted more than you? Karen Kebner? Free throw from Hugenberg is good.
I'm not sure. Karen didn't play basketball 2 years, so
True.
She missed those teams. I don't know. It's a good question.
We'll have to put Raider athletic historian Frank Cash on it.
That's right. I know Coach Longo's making a push. He told me he was glad when I quit coaching basketball because he was going to pass me up in the number of teams that he was going to be on in the Hall of Fame.
That's something Coach Longo would say.
Uh-huh.
Turnover at the middle of the court as Rolling Meadows couldn't keep control of it. Lady Raiders on the far side, trailing in this one 24-20. Lady Raiders trying to answer the 10-0 run by Rolling Meadows with a run of their own. Into the front court, Obert on the crossover. Looking for room on the right side, gets it to Ginnenbacher. Big pick by Keating. Ginnenbacher down the lane. Double clutch layup is good. Great curling run. Now a steal by Notre Dame, and it's tapped out of bounds, touched out of bounds by Montanez, and the Raiders get it back.
Well, it's nice to see Kristen Ginnenbacher attack the basket like that. She's kind of been asleep on offense and hasn't really attacked the basket, and they need her to.
Lady Raiders on the baseline, and now we're going to have a moving pick against the Raiders. They're going to give up this possession before they get it in bounds. Raiders trailing 24-22. The biggest lead for either team this game is 6 when Rolling Meadows was up 24-18. Raiders retreat, man-to-man defense. Kemp being guarded by Foley. Spin move, dish underneath. Easy layup on the inside as she finds Katie Schumann. Schumann's got 2. Her first 2 off the bench. Raiders trying to answer. 3 from the corner. That's an air ball. Weak side rebound by Obert. She traveled with it, trying to go up right over Allie Kemp.
Well, and she's lucky she didn't pick up her 3rd foul there because she went right over her back and they let that go.
Raiders down 4, 26-22. Quickly into Kemp. Kemp nearly had it stolen by Foley. You don't see very many players faster than Foley, but Kemp just beat her down the floor. Kick it out, 3 from Glasgow. That's no good. Rebound is loose underneath, off Rolling Meadows and out of bounds. Raiders working right now with Ginnenbacher, Foley, Hugenberg, and Keating on the floor. And Hugenberg is going to go to the line for a 1-and-1. That was the last foul that Rolling Meadows had to give on the scrum on the Raider defensive end. 2:45 to go. Now they're going to say that was only the 6th foul. The official scorer here at the pit is so quick that they regularly fool me during the men's action and often fool the referees. 2:40 to go now. Raiders into the front court. Neither team any fouls left to give. We're going to be shooting free throws for the last 2:35 of this first half. Raiders on the weak side with Hugenberg straight away. They get it into the hands of Keating. Now for Ginnenbacher. Straight away Hugenberg. Hugenberg, left hand dribble into the corner. It's going to be Foley. Dribble drive, baseline. She's swallowed up by 3. Hugenberg, 8-footer, no good. Just rolls off the backside. Picked up by Schumann. Schumann gets it to Kemp. Kemp on the far side. Crossover. Gets to the right elbow. Kicks it back outside. Stolen by Ginnenbacher. She's going to run down, dribble it off her knee. Loses the transition bucket. Foley gets it with the foul. Great job by Ginnenbacher to stay cool-headed and find the trailer, Foley, who turns it into a layup and a foul.
Well, that was a huge steal by Kristen Ginnenbacher, and she kind of lost control of the ball a little bit when she was going into the basket, and just a really smart play for her to just gather the ball, relax, and pass it off. A lot of kids just go ahead up and shoot it out of control, but she didn't.
Free throw is good by Foley. She's got 5 on the night while being asked to shut down the Gatorade All-American Kemp. And now foul whistle as she tried to guard Kemp too closely on the inbounds. Raiders down by 1, 26-25, 2:02 to go first half. And Kemp's going to go to the line for the 2nd time tonight. She missed both free throws her first trip to the line. I don't think that will happen again tonight. She misses this one, the front end of the 1-and-1. Well, surprises never cease.
It's just a little bit off.
Raiders straight away. Chance to take the lead back. They last led 18-14. Raiders working some time with Foley straight away. Raiders were up 18-14. Then it was a 10-0 run by Rolling Meadows to go on top for the first time since early in the first quarter. Raiders on the back door. Get this one to Foley. Foley driving layup. Right hand won't go. Loose in the lane. Hugenberg's on it. Kemp comes away with it. 2-on-1. Kemp. Glasgow gives it to Glasgow. Layup is good.
That was very smart of Cassidy Foley. She knew she had 2 fouls and stayed back and just let her make the basket. Very smart.
Minute 15 to go first half. Raiders down a triple, 28-25. Ginnenbacher fakes the 3, spins into the lane, kicks it right elbow. Raiders into the corner. Foley for 3 in the tie. She's got it. Cassidy Foley, she's got 8 on the night and none bigger than that 3. We're tied 28-28. Notre Dame and Rolling Meadows. Under a minute to go now. Rolling Meadows, number 3 in Class 4. The Raiders, number 3 in Class 3. And we're all tied up here at the pit. Down low, Villette, her turnaround, and she's going to be called for the wing, the hook, the offensive player foul, as she got tied up on the inside with Foley. You hardly ever see that called at the high school level. And now, that is a big foul because Villette Their foul was against Hugenberg, not Foley. And that should be free throws. But they're going to say no, not off the player control foul. So Raiders won't get the free throws here.
Well, in all honesty, Villette had her sealed. I don't know where that call came from. I've never seen that call called in girls basketball before.
Yeah, Villette was just as surprised as you were. 48 seconds to go, first half. Raiders into the front court, tied 28-28. A lower scoring affair than last year's tilt. That one ended up 87-82 Raiders. 3 out of the corner, no good from Hugenberg. Too early in the possession there. Now, 30 seconds to go. 3 from the outside, no good by Glasgow. She's 2 of 5 from beyond the arc. Rolling Meadows gets the rebound, and we're going the other way on the inside foul by Schumann. And this one is going to result in Raider free throws. Oh, they're going to call it. How can you call an offensive foul when that player doesn't have the ball? It's got to be a foul away from the ball, and that should be free throws. The Lady Raiders have missed a couple opportunities to shoot free throws here in the bonus. 25 seconds to go now. We're all tied 28-28. First half in the pit. Lady Raiders bring it into the front court with Foley. She's very near that stripe. She's guarded by Kay. Foley drifts to the near side. Kay stays with her. Crossover. Kay nearly takes it away. Raiders get it into the hands of Foley. Foley on the backside. The Foley sisters out there on the floor. Heaved at the buzzer. No good. As Cassidy Foley lost track of the clock in her mind and had to put that one up from 25 feet as time expired on the first half. 16 minutes in, no one can make up any ground on the other. We're tied 28-28. Halftime coming up next on WTAD.
Design, build, and transport products for the future right here at John Wood Community College. John Wood provides the training you need to get the good paying job you want. Employers are looking for highly skilled technical workers and many.
It's Raiders at the half on Talk Radio 930, WTAD. Sean Seacrease along with Raider Hall of Famer Lori Vogel. They have the fan participation halftime shootout here at the KHQA Subway Superfan Shootout. It's a layup, a free throw, a 3.5 court shot, and my partner's leaning in like she wants to get out there and have a go at it.
I don't think so. I would need 3 minutes, not 30 seconds.
The Raiders at the half, all tied with Rolling Meadows, 28-28. Let's run down the scores real quick. It's Ginnenbacher with 2 for the Raiders, Obert with 2, Keating with 6, Hugenberg with 7, Foley has 8, and Marcola has 2 off the bench. For Rolling Meadows, it is Kempf with 8, Villette with 4, Glasgow with 12, Kemp with 2 off the bench and Schumann with 2 off the bench as we're all tied 28-28. The Lady Raiders 1 of 3 from beyond the arc, 4 of 4 from the free throw stripe. Rolling Meadows 2 of 6 from beyond the arc and 6 of 9 from the free throw line. The first half deadlocked at 28. Your thoughts?
I think it's a very well played game. It's more like a track meet than anything else. And Rolling Meadows, they just attack the basket. QND's doing a nice job defensively. We'll see how that goes in the second half. They've got to be pretty tired right now.
So the Lady Raiders, they used a lot more substitutions in the first half than we saw Rolling Meadows use along that first 16 minutes. But Rolling Meadows, they played last night too, so, you know, I think both teams like to get up and down the floor. Have you seen any tendencies from the Raiders? Do they look like they're second-guessing themselves, like they're just not, you know, yet in fifth gear yet in this game?
Well, I think their shot selection hasn't been the greatest. They've kind of panicked at times and just thrown up some shots that really weren't shots that they should be taking.
So the Lady Raiders and Rolling Meadows all tied 28-28 here at the half. It's been a busy day around the world of sports, including day 3 of the 2014 Sochi Olympics. Let's check in now with the Fox Sports Newsroom. Part of Raiders at the half on Talk Radio 930 WTAD.
Skilled technical workers in manufacturing, electrical, construction, computer-aided design, truck driver training. Getting started is easier than you think. Call John Wood today or go online at jwcc.edu. John Wood Community College. It's your college for your life.
As a parent, I would recommend John Wood. There's a big misconception that you don't get the college experience until you actually go away to a school. Both of my daughters have thrived at John Wood. John Wood instructors and staff take a real serious interest. All of her classes transferred, no problem. John Wood gave both my kids a great start, a no-brainer for us. My name is Doug Porter, and I'm the proud father of 2 daughters who attended John Wood Community College. It's your college for your life.
Design, build, and transport products for the future right here at John Wood Community College. John Wood provides the training you need to get the good paying job you want. Employers are looking for highly skilled technical workers in manufacturing, electrical, construction, computer-aided design, truck driver training. Getting started is easier than you think. Call John Wood today or go online at jwcc.edu. John Wood Community College. It's your college for your life.
As a parent, I would recommend John Wood. There's a big misconception that you don't get the college experience until you actually go away to a school. Both of my daughters have thrived at John Wood. John Wood instructors and staff take a real serious interest. All of her classes transferred, no problem. John Wood gave both my kids a great start, a no-brainer for us. My name is Doug Porter, and I'm the proud father of 2 daughters who attended John Wood Community College. It's your college for your life.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
Decisive part of this ball game because 16 minutes in, Lori, and no one could really find an advantage over the other team. We're tied 28-28. I think the Lady Raiders were more tenacious on the offensive end. They were certainly more patient, but that was kind of equalized by Rolling Meadows' proficiency at the counterattack to get a lot of easy points.
Rolling Meadows just pushes the ball up the floor, and they really don't care what the score is. That's not going to stop them. They're going to make one or two passes, and they're firing it up. They did do a nice job in their half-court set. The few times that they ended up being in a half-court set, and their passing is just really, they do a really nice job of passing, especially their posts. They don't force it up there. If they feel pressure on their back and they're guarded, they're kicking it right back out.
So the Lady Raiders, they'll look for some tendencies from Rolling Meadows that they can take advantage of here in the second half. A few more field goals would certainly help them out as well. Then they could get that ball press set up that they've had so much success with. They've turned 3 steals into 6 easy points in the first half.
Right. I mean, that's been their MO for the last 6, 7, 8 years. And when they don't get to set up their press and they go into a half-court set, they're visibly not comfortable in that half-court set. I think, too, Kristen Ginnenbacher needs to get involved in the offense. She has not been involved in the offense, and she needs to attack the basket and make something happen.
We're all tied 28-28 at the half. The second half, it comes up next. Notre Dame and Rolling Meadows on Talk Radio 930 WTAD.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls. Lady Raiders get things started by watching Rolling Meadows go inside to Montanez, and then Foley comes back with 2. We're tied 30-30, and just that quickly, Kemp unties it at 32-30. So a blistering start to this second half as Rolling Meadows is on top 32-30. Hall of Famer we saw as the shot goes in and out from Hugenberg, and the Lady Raiders can't find the rebound. Outlet pass to Villette, layup is good. Rolling Meadows still committed to pushing the tempo. We saw Rolling Meadows come out and purposely get Montanez started after she was held scoreless in the first half.
Yeah, they're going inside to her now, and I'm sure that their head coach told them at halftime, look, we don't have anybody that can match up. They don't have anybody that can match up with her. Let's get her the ball.
Raiders trailing 34-30. Far side corner, now straight away Hugenberg. Wants to come near side, Ginnenbacher. This is the player that Lori wanted to see get involved more in this second half offense. Hugenberg with a long 2. Didn't call backboard, but it's a wild shot that misses the rim. Kemp with a chance to marshal her troops. Kemp, nobody picks her up. She goes down the lane, slashes, misses the layup. Now the Raiders have a 3-on-2. Cassidy Foley leads the break. Step back three. Ginenbacher, good!
That's what she needed to do. She was non-existent the first half. She could have taken it in and driven all the way to the basket. Instead, she chose to shoot a wide-open three. Good choice.
Kemp on the outside, hands it off to Glasgow. She gets hand-checked by Foley. That'll be a foul. First one on the Raiders in the second half. 6 minutes to go, third quarter. Rolling Meadows up on Notre Dame, 34-33, thanks to the three by Ginenbacher. She was contained to just 2 points in the first half. She's got 5 now. Lady Raiders won this Mega Powers showdown last year, 87-82. Right now, it's Rolling Meadows. Bounce pass on the inside. Kemp goes to the backside, finds Montanez. And Montanez has the lead up to 3, 36-33. Raiders on the left side, give it up with the turnover by Hugenberg.
The Raiders are falling asleep a little bit on the weak side defense, and Montanez has picked up 2 quick baskets here in the third quarter.
Kemp walks it into the front court. Raiders, man-to-man defense. Jumper off the left elbow, no good by Villette. Rebound on the backside, follows her own, puts it up and in. 38-33. 5-point lead now for Rolling Meadows. Biggest lead they've had is 6 at 24-18. Raiders on the outside left wing, Ginenbacher. Ginenbacher wants to go to the baseline. Backside bounce pass. Now a jump shot is fumbled by Keating, and she comes down with it. That's a travel. She had the triple threat position ready to go on the baseline. Tried to take the shot before she caught the pass, though, and that slight fumble cost her the travel and the turnover.
Well, the Raiders just can't turn the ball over against a team like this. You start turning the ball over, you're not going to win.
Tied 28-28 at the half. Pickpocket job by Foley. Now Ginenbacher in transition. She picked Kemp's pocket. She had 2 open runners on the backside. Didn't find him. Nearly throws it away on the far side. Baseline for Foley. Great save on the wild pass from Keating. And now the Raiders reset outside. Timeout called by Coach Horn. He wants a full timeout, and he is unhappy with his offense. 38-33, Rolling Meadows on top of QND. You're listening to a Raider doubleheader on WTAD.
A funeral service is more than an end to life. It's a remembrance, a time to commemorate all that person meant to us.
My dad meant so much to us. It was hard to know where to begin.
Our caring staff will help you make it a fitting farewell with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
Out of the timeout, Raiders drive it left side baseline with Obert, reverses course. Shot is blocked by Montanez on the inside. Loose ball picked up by Villette, come near side for Kemp. Kemp's going to wait, and now the secondary break. 3 off the far side, he is no good. Raiders have it, want to go 2-on-1. Ginenbacher takes it down the lane, layup strong right through contact is good. Ginenbacher, now Kemp back the other way. Weak side layup, Glasgow, no good. Raiders have it, want to run again. They're down 38-35, up and under by Hugenberg. Shot is short, gets her own miss, gets fouled going up, and she'll go to the line. Coach Horn did not invite any of the team over to the house for Christmas dinner during that timeout, and they've responded to him taking the crop to him by upping the tempo out of the timeout and trying to go on a 4-0 run here.
Well, they were playing just lackadaisical. They weren't making good passes. Defensively, they weren't blocking out. They had no weak side help. So I'm sure he set them straight.
Hugenberg's first free throw, rims out. And the next. The student section gets on Villette for forgetting it was a 2-shot foul. She went in there big and cleared out that rebound. Lady Raiders know they'll be a #1 seed for their postseason region. We'll talk about why the Hall of Famer next to me thinks that's a big deal as this game goes on. Hugenberg hits 1 of 2 free throws. Lady Raiders down to 38-36. 4 minutes to go, third quarter here at the pit. Last action for the 2014 Superfan Shootout. Rolling Meadows into the front court. Kay, she's able to look inside, find Glasgow. Turn around, loses her footing. Outside, Kay misses the 3. Raiders have it on the rebound, and it's going to be Raider ball on the right-end baseline as the foul, the push by Kay, gives it to QND. Second foul this half on Rolling Meadows. Raiders with Ginnenbacher. Ginnenbacher on the left wing now for Foley. Straight away for Keating. Back to Ginnenbacher. She wants 3, in and out. Big rebound on the weak side by Glasgow. Glasgow just pushes off against Foley in transition. No call. Villette from outside. She wants to find Kemp. Kemp for 3. She's got it. That's the Gatorade All-American point guard right there.
Gotta know where she is.
Hits the 3.
Gotta know where she is all the time on the floor. Can't forget about her.
41-36, 5-point lead for Rolling Meadows. Raiders on the far side with Foley. Into the corner for Obert. Now Foley straight away, Ginnenbacher. 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Left elbow, kick it outside. Foley for 3. That shot partially blocked, and it's no good from Foley. Rolling Meadows transition. Kemp, left hand, layup good. She's just automatic if she's only got one defender to beat.
Right, she just goes to the basket. She'll go to the basket if 2 people are defending her, but she is going to make something happen, and that's what you want to see in a point guard.
Crossover, Ginnenbacher gets into the lane, kick out to Obert. Now around the perimeter into the corner for Keating. Slashing down the lane is Ginnenbacher. Pass is knocked away as Keating telegraphed it. Kemp wants to run. Rolling Meadows rolls up the floor. Nobody stops the ball. Kemp with the layup all the way through traffic. Coach Orn, hands on his head, slams him down to his sides and looks to his assistants. Timeout taken by Notre Dame. And it is a lackadaisical defense right now that is betraying the Lady Raiders. 2:14 to go, third quarter, 45-36. Biggest lead of the game for Rolling Meadows. You're listening to a Raider doubleheader on WTAD.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
QND, Rolling Meadows, deep in the third quarter. Rolling Meadows on top, 45-36. Lady Raiders won this one last year, 87-82, in a game that was described as no less than the greatest game ever played here by my Hall of Fame partner. Lady Raiders looking to crawl back into this one, down 9, their biggest deficit of this game. Straight away, Ginnenbacher drives down the lane into traffic. She's fouled and will go to the line. The Lady Raiders on Friday got word from the IHSA that they would be a #1 seed for their regional. Their regional in Springfield, part of the Normal University sectional. Coach Orn joined us at halftime of the Raider game last night, and he talked about that being a big deal for this team. Other #1 seeds in that region, Rochester, Champaign Centennial, and Normal University. First free throw by Ginnenbacher is good. Laura, you also think it was a big deal for the Raiders to pick up that #1 seed at the Springfield Regional.
Well, it's huge for them because Springfield got the #2 seed and Sacred Heart Griffin got the #3 seed, so they're going to have to play each other. So QND had two close games with them this year. They beat Sacred Heart 46-40 and Springfield 71-65. So that's going to look to be one of the toughest regionals in the state.
Lady Raiders get 1 of 2 from Ginnenbacher at the free throw line. Now pick up man-to-man defense. Big steal by Foley on the entry to Glasgow. Lady Raiders roll it into the front court, down 45-37. Foley to Foley. Back to Foley on the right wing. Cassidy Foley puts it on the ground, dribble drive, cut off. Back out top to her sister. Now to Ginnenbacher, straight away. She's looking across over Glasgow. Dribble drive by Obert, gives it back to Ginnenbacher. Now to Foley, gets to the left elbow, but darts outside between the circles. Minute 10 to go, third quarter. Interior bounce pass to Obert. She tries to roll. Free throw line, look for Foley. Her layup no good on the charge, and Villette called for the foul as she couldn't stay vertical. And she has been upset with a couple of officiating calls this evening. Jenny Villette, she and Kemp both headed for St. Louis University next year. As Rolling Meadows starting 4 D1 signees, not recruits, signees in this game tonight. First free throw is good for Foley, her first points of the night. 45-38. Second free throw coming up for Mackenzie Foley. I believe another 2 sports star that Coach Longo will have on the soccer pitch later this spring.
Yes, he will.
I think that's why Coach Longo sits on the bench to make sure none of his soccer players are endangered during the basketball season.
I think you're absolutely right, so he can keep an eye on him.
Foley makes both free throws, cuts the lead to 45-39. Loose ball on the floor, Montanez. And now a timeout going to be called by Coach Kigonski. And that's Rolling Meadows timeout as he didn't want to lose the offensive possession. Just a 20, so we'll keep it here with 58 seconds to go in the third quarter. Rolling Meadows up 6, 45-39. So we know why it was important that the Raiders picked up the number 1 seed at the Springfield Regional, because number 2 Springfield and number 3 Sacred Heart will have to play each other to see which one advances to that regional final. Meanwhile, the Lady Raiders will start that regional coming up on the 18th. It'll be held at Springfield High, and the Lady Raiders will get the winner of Springfield Lamphere and Jacksonville, the 4-5 game, in that regional, essentially, semifinal. We'll keep you updated on WTAD when we pick up the Lady Raiders in their postseason run, their quest to make it back to back to back to back state titles.
I think you win 4, it's a dynasty.
Down the lane on the right side for a change of pace. Kemp's layup is good. In this modern era with redrawn lines and multipliers, I think 3's probably a dynasty.
Yes, I think you're right. They've got a rough road this year.
Free throw from Kemp is good. She makes the 3-point play stand. Kemp has come alive here in the second half. She was held to 8 in the first half. Kemp already with 12 here in the second half. Her 20 leads all scorers, and it's back to a 9-point bulge at 48-39. 40 seconds to go, third quarter. Raiders with the ball in the front court, moving right to left here in the second half. Cassidy Foley on the crossover. Finds some room down the lane, loses the rock. Taken away on the far side by Glasgow. She's going to move it quickly into the backcourt for Kemp. And now onto the near side for the other Kemp. Kemp down the lane, hangs and hits. Jackie Kemp, 5'6", and that's when she's wearing high heels. Just took it into the lane and scored over 3 bigs. Raiders miss it in the front court, get the steal back over to Hugenberg. Hugenberg fumbles it out of bounds. And the Raiders pass up an opportunity to cut into this 9-point lead. 5 seconds to go, third quarter. Time a factor here as the Raiders find themselves down 11 now, 50-38. Kemp charging up, 2 seconds to go, gets to the elbow, puts it up with the left hand, and the Raiders going to be called for a foul. On the push with 0.6 seconds to go. Kemp shows you why she's a Gatorade All-American as she gets to the free throw line in 4 seconds. She wasn't going to pass that.
No, she just keeps going at you, going at you, going at you, and that's why it's so important to stop the ball.
There's a lid on the bucket for Kemp's free throws tonight. She's got 22, and she is 1 of 4 from the free throw line.
Well, as soon as the referee blew the whistle, Kristen Ginnenbacher walked right over there and said, "That's on me." She's protecting her teammate, Cassidy Foley, from picking up her 4th foul.
Raiders don't get the shot off at the end of the third quarter. They trail by their biggest margin tonight. Rolling Meadows leads at 51-39 as we go to the fourth quarter next on WTAD.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
Fourth quarter about to get underway. Raiders trail by their biggest deficit of the night, 51-39 on Talk Radio 930 WTAD. I'm Sean Seacrease, along with Raider Hall of Famer Lori Vogel. We're at the pit, wrapping up the 2014 Superfan Shootout. My personal thanks to Chris Dewar of KHQA. He worked so hard to put these two outstanding days of high school hoops together, and to see him get paid off with games that happened today has been absolutely outstanding. Keating gets fouled on the entry and goes to the line. Pittsfield Keokuk, outstanding game earlier tonight. Pittsfield had been under 500, came away with a big win. Illini West and Bowling Green was fantastic on the ladies' side. Illini West and Lanark Eastland. Lanark Eastland with a guard that's going to go play big-time college basketball was here at the pit. Payson Seymour and Madison just before we got started tonight. A game that was decided on Hildebrandt's elbow jumper with 5 seconds to go and won 45-43. It's been just outstanding basketball all day long today. Into the front court, Kemp, her layup is good, but no, a travel violation whistled against her. Wipe it out. You weren't at the pit just yet to get that Payson game started, but the Indians of Payson Seymour came out on their first two possessions. They threw back-to-back alley-oops to Gage Klitz, who went over the opposing center for 2 dunks in that game, and the pit had never been more electric this season. Jumper off the baseline, no good for Keating. Rolling Meadows, Villette comes down with it. Rolling Meadows into the front court. Glasgow, pull up from 8 feet, no good. Rebound backside, Montanez. Back out to Schumann. Schumann sets it outside. Glasgow takes a bounce, takes the 3 and hits it.
Rolling Meadows is just really starting to get into a rhythm right now. QND's having a lot of miscues on defense, and they're really struggling on offense, and it's not working out for them right now.
54-40, Rolling Meadows threatening to pull away here at the pit. The win last year over Rolling Meadows, part of that 67-game win streak the Raiders had before their loss to Incarnate Word early in this season. Raiders on the outside. Foley working with the high post up that time from Hugenberg. She hands it off to Ginnenbacher. Her layup on the curl, no good. Just rolled off the front of the rim. Kemp on the near side. Reach in foul by Foley. And that's going to be on Mackenzie Foley, her second here tonight. Well, we talked about Rolling Meadows coming in 22-3 on the season. Losses for Rolling Meadows so far this season to Whitney Young, 54-40. They also lost a nail-biter to Marion Catholic. They lost to Marion Catholic 75-59, but there was the loss to Montini 66-63. There was the nail-biter there. So not unbeatable, but certainly excellence this season for Rolling Meadows. Foul on the floor, and Rolling Meadows is going to have the ball on the right-end baseline. 6:20 to go, leading by 14. Mackenzie Foley picks up another one.
She's picked up 3 fouls in less than a minute.
Outside, Villette gets it to Kemp. Backdoor Villette, reverse layup. She's fouled by Hugenberg. Raiders are now going to put Rolling Meadows on the line for the rest of this game. That's the 7th foul. The Raiders just picked up 4 fouls in 40 seconds. Now, this isn't the way this game was designed to go if you're a Raider fan looking for a Raider win here tonight. Villette hits her first free throw. That makes it the biggest spread of the night, 15 at 55-40.
The Lady Raiders have done a nice job on defense. This is a team that can literally put up 80, 90 points on any given night.
Raiders, after the second made three throw by Villette, into the front court. Straight away for Foley. Cassidy Foley fades off to the right side. Man-to-man defense from Rolling Meadows. Faked handoff. Now Keating gives it up. Keating to Foley. Foley runner in the lane. Shot won't go. Rebound Villette. Villette's really asserted herself on the boards here in the second half, while Montanez hasn't been much of a factor outside the first 2 minutes. In traffic, Kemp layup good. Kemp is just wearing out the scoreboard this evening. Raiders layup in the lane from Ginnenbacher. Won't go. 5:38 to go, and Rolling Meadows is starting to turn this from a basketball game into just excellence of execution right now every time they have the ball.
Everything they do. Their transition is perfect. Their half-court set is perfect. And QND's getting a little rushed. They're panicking a little bit and throwing up some real ill-advised shots right now.
Raiders have just one free throw in this fourth quarter, while Rolling Meadows has outscored them 7-1. Down the left side of the lane, Hugenberg's drive is fouled by Villette. Now Villette is one of two Rolling Meadows Lady Mustangs in foul trouble. Villette, that's her fourth foul. We'll also keep an eye on Montanez, who has 3 fouls, and she's still in this game as well. Hugenberg on the line. She's got 9 on the night. She is 5 of 6 from the stripe, and now 6 of 7. Lady Raiders wrap up their regular season next Saturday with an afternoon tilt here at the pit.
They'll be playing Rochester at 1 o'clock, and it's a JV varsity game.
Senior afternoon.
Yes.
2 free throws for Hugenberg. She's got 4 here in the second half, 11 in the ball game. 5:15 to go. Lady Raiders going to have to rely on their defense to come back in this one, down 58-42. Glasgow on the crossover, sets it outside to Kemp. The Kemp sisters, Allie and Jackie. Jackie's the one going to St. Louis U. Outside, Glasgow wants the 3. Travel as she had to reset her feet because of the tenacious defense by Obert. She fought through the screen and took that shot away.
And Obert does a nice job. That kid, like I said earlier tonight, she hustles up and down the floor. She plays a lot of defense. She's not a strong offensive player for him. She knows her role.
On the outside, Lady Raiders pass it around the perimeter. Foley comes straight away, far side for Ginnenbacher. Now a look for Marcola. Marcola played quite a few minutes in the first half, then got happy feet, was called for 3 travel violations, and we haven't seen her much here in the second half. Straight away for Ginnenbacher, 4.5 to go. Ginnenbacher on the crossover, right elbow, backs it out, gives it up to Marcola. Marcola looks backside, that foot's popping around. She needs to keep at least one of them set. Dribble drive, leaning in is Hugenberg. She just doesn't have the strength to execute that move against Montanez. Montanez takes it away from her. And the other way comes Rolling Meadows. Kemp on the crossover. Right hand. She gets fouled. And that's going to send Kemp to the line.
And the Lady Raiders need to be aggressive right now, but they need not foul, or this game's going to get real out of control, because Rolling Meadows shoots free throws really well.
Yeah, ironically, Kemp's the only one who's not shot it well tonight. Just 2 of 6 from the free throw strike. Everyone else is perfect. Villette and Glasgow haven't missed. Kemp hits. .26 now for Kemp. Make it 27. It's 60-42. Lady Raiders trailing. Dribble drive by Ginnenbacher, and she draws the foul. That's going to be Kay or Kemp. It's Kemp. Kemp picking up her 3rd. 4 minutes to go, so no reason to bring her out of this game. At this point, you got to trust your senior to play with 3 fouls. 4 minutes flat remaining as the Lady Raiders are down 60-42. Lady Raiders have taken just 2 losses this season by a combined total of 5 points. First free throw is good from Ginenbacher. Timeout going to be called by Rolling Meadows. Rolling Meadows wants to talk it over, so we'll step aside as well. 4 minutes to go in the game. Rolling Meadows on top of Notre Dame, 60-43 on WTAD.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
Four minutes to go. Raiders trail 60-43. Ginenbacher back to the free throw line. Trying to go 2 for 2 on this trip. Ginenbacher, a deep knee bend. And she gets it up there softly, but just off the front of the rim as she goes 1 of 2 on the trip. Lady Raiders, man-to-man, they pick it up, make or miss. Haven't had much of a chance to set up their ball press after made field goals here in the second half. They harass Glasgow at the point, and now Kemp. Kemp, little turntable move behind her back. Bounce pass into the corner for Kay. Kay's just going to wait it out. Kay, no points, 0 for 2 from beyond the arc. Glasgow looks to the far side. Raiders take it away from the entry pass to Montanez. Want to run. Ginenbacher on the crossover, right elbow. Fades into the lane, backs it down, sets it out to Obert. Obert takes it in deep, steps through, no call on the travel. Hugenberg fouled on the weak side rebound, and she's going to go back to the free throw stripe. Well, Obert, she went for a long enough walk. She might have to change her socks and shoes after that, but no call.
No call. I don't think they want to stop the clock here.
3:19 to go with Hugenberg back on the line. Comes up short. Hugenberg had made 4 in a row from the free throw stripe before that. It's Rolling Meadows leading it now 60-43. This game was tied at the half, 28-28. Lady Raiders fell behind right out of halftime as Rolling Meadows went up 30-28, then 32-30, then 34-30. Lady Raiders cut it to 38-36, and that's the closest they've been since. Lady Raiders coming off the ball press, off the last made free throw by Hugenberg, trying to upset the rhythm of Rolling Meadows, and now a loose ball on the floor. I think this foul is going to go against Glasgow, and the Rolling Meadows contingent is upset. Rolling Meadows up 14, and Obert going to the free throw stripe. Obert had 2 in the first half, no points here in the second half. This is her first trip to the line tonight. Ginenbacher going to slide into a rebounding spot on the lane on the far side. So Erica Obert on the line with 3:10 to go. Our thanks to Bruce Terstege back at the WTAD studios for producing the doubleheader tonight. And don't forget, as the first free throw rolls through, Tuesday night basketball. The Raiders host possible regional opponent Sacred Heart Griffin here at the pit. We'll have it for you 7 o'clock on WTAD. Second free throw is good. Obert goes 2 for 2 from the line. And the Raiders cut the lead to 60-46. Up into the near side, Allie Kemp now outside to Millette. Millette goes to the far side. Raiders picking up man-to-man, trying to just force cheap turnovers against this Rolling Meadows ball control offense right now. It's not quite an old school 4 corners stall, but it's close to it with a 3-man weave. right inside the center circle for Rolling Meadows as they're trying to just drain time off the clock. 2:40 to go in the game. Rolling Meadows up 60-46. Villette down the far side. Whip it around to Kemp on the outside. Kemp on the crossover. She's putting on a ball handling clinic on the near side. Now she finds her sister, Allie Kemp, down the lane. They look for the layup for Villette, stolen by the Raiders. This is what QND wanted. Gittenbacher goes inside. Layup is good.
Well, Rolling Meadows looked just a little bit uncomfortable making all those passes since they're so used to making 1 or 2 passes and attacking the basket. It was just a matter of time before they threw it away.
Obert fouls Kemp on the far side. I understand that you want good fundamentals, you know, if you're Coach Kirkowski, but your team is trained to attack the rim. I don't think in a game of this magnitude and participants of this talent level, if you're up 14, anybody's going to accuse you of bad sportsmanship for attacking the rim in a 14-point game. It's almost, to me, kind of let your horses run situation.
I would just let them play.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a 3-4 point ball game where you're going to go to 4 corners and stall, you know.
But it's also not unsportsmanlike conduct because the margin's 50. It's a 12, 14-point game.
Yeah, you just keep attacking the basket.
Missed free throws that time by Villette, and layup off the far side for Humphreys, the substitute in for the Raiders. Humphreys gets 2, and the Raiders cut it to 60-50. This is as close as the Raiders have been in a little while. Student section coming to life, hoping for a late miracle. 95 seconds to go. Rolling Meadows throws it away. Kemp just missed the feed on the near side with her sister, and she doesn't want to hear it. They fight like only sisters can on the floor.
I'm glad I never had to play with my sister.
Humphreys into the front court, takes it glass. Oh, the layup just doesn't go. Rebound in the lane for the Raiders. They kick it out to the near side. Raiders with substitutes all over the floor now. It rolls out Marcola, a valiant effort to nearly dive for it, but she just couldn't save it on the left end baseline. Raiders down 60-50. Minute 18 to go. Raiders. Montanez had the home run. Now the Raiders get the steal with Jada Humphrey. Humphrey has it tied up down low. Marcola held ball. And on the alternating possession arrow, this is going to go to Rolling Meadows. 72 seconds to go. Rolling Meadows up 10, 60-50 here at the pit. Wrapping up the 2014 KHQA Subway Superfan Shootout. I'm Sean Secrease along with Raider Hall of Famer Lori Vogel. Humphreys with another steal, this time on Villette. Her free throw goes, or rather step back goes. She started that move at the free throw line, faded off to the right side. And the Raiders now within 8, sensing a little bit of late life here. On the outside, Rolling Meadows to Humphreys around the perimeter. Now the reach in on the far side as the Raiders give the foul with Shelby Ulrich. They had to do something to force action from Rolling Meadows, and Allie Kemp is going to go to the line.
I'm just really surprised that they're staying in that. And essentially, it's like a 5-corner. They've got everybody out there. They don't have anybody on the interior at all.
Kemp misses the first free throw. Raiders going to play a little offense, defense, get Foley, Gittenbacher, and Hugenberg back into this game with 46 seconds to go. Well, what a great spark that Humphrey gave the team coming in the last 30 seconds.
She did, and she's young. She hasn't played a lot, but she went into that game like she has played this whole entire game. She is totally, her heart was in it.
Raiders watch as Kemp hits the second free throw. That makes it a 9-point game. Timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. 46 seconds to go. Raiders down 9 on WTAD.
A funeral service is more than an end to life. It's a remembrance, a time to commemorate all that person meant to us.
My dad meant so much to us. It was hard to know where to begin.
Our caring staff will help you make it a fitting farewell with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
Scene for you at the pit, 46 seconds to go. The Raiders of Quincy Notre Dame ranked third in Class 3A, trailing Rolling Meadows Mustangs, ranked third in Class 4. Rolling Meadows on top 61-52. This game was tied 28-28 at the half, but Rolling Meadows, Gatorade All-American point guard Jackie Kemp, she's taken this game over, Lori, and she is every bit the star that she was groomed to be, anticipated to be, and really has become this season.
She put on a point guard clinic in the third quarter, and Rolling Meadows outscored QND 23-11. It's because of her.
Humphreys on the crossover, hits the 12-footer. She's got a half dozen. Raiders with the steal, layup by Hugenberg. Raiders have cut this one to 61-56 all of a sudden as they set up their press. Now a quick foul on the near side, and QND, who's within 5, will watch as Rolling Meadows goes to the line with 23 seconds to go. So this is a game that Rolling Meadows has let become uncomfortably close because they stopped attacking the rim. They were up in this game 60-42, and now they have to make pressure free throws in a 2-possession game.
Right, and they stopped attacking the basket. They stopped doing what makes them successful, and their head coach took them right out of the game and let QND back in because the girls could not do what they're good at.
Glasgow goes 2 for 2 from the line. That makes it 63-56. Raiders into the front court. Ginnenbacher, crossover, down the lane. Layup, not going to go. She left it short. Rebound by Kemp. Tied up, down low. Raiders ball, alternating possession arrow. 14 seconds to work with. Raiders down by 7 in a 3-possession game. Substitutes coming in. Obert and Keating. They're going to be quick as they get Hire and Humphrey off the floor. So the Raiders going to run a little back post screen for Keating. Get it outside. Ginnenbacher picks it up. 3 from the wing is short. Raiders couldn't get in and get after it after Keating left it short. She's been shut out in the second half. Into the front court is Kemp, and that's going to do it. The Raiders make a valiant charge at the end, but fall to Rolling Meadows in the rematch, 63-56. We'll have the post-game show coming up next. Rolling Meadows improves to 23-3. The Raiders fall to 23-3 in a matchup of state title hopefuls here this evening on WTAD.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
Welcome to the postgame show on Talk Radio 930 WTAD. I'm Sean Seacrease along with Raider Hall of Famer Lori Vogel. The Outstanding Player of the Game award that they give away after each game here at the KHQA Subway Superfan Shootout. In this one went to Jackie Kemp. No surprise, she led all scorers with 27 points. She sets a precedent for how point guard can be played at the high school level. She's going to play at the next level at D1, already signed with St. Louis University. She had 27 here tonight, 19 of those in the second half, and she really helped Rolling Meadows turn the corner in a game that was a 28-28 tie at halftime to pick up the 63-56 win over the Raiders.
She ignited an offense that had been very stagnant in the first half, and you could see it in her face when she came out in the second half, and she ran the show. She took charge. She told everybody what to do, and she was not going to lose this game.
Lady Raiders fought a seesaw battle in the first quarter. They were up at the end of one, 14-12. Rolling Meadows came back, had a 10-0 run as part of a big second quarter, but the Raiders came back just before halftime and tied it up 28-28. Rolling Meadows started to build a small lead in the second quarter that exploded after the 4:40 mark. Raiders took a timeout. After that, Rolling Meadows was able to go and put up 10 to the Raiders 6 the rest of the way. That built a part of a 51-39 lead at the end of the third quarter. Rolling Meadows' big quarter was the third. They outscored the Raiders 23-11 in that quarter and win it by the final of 63-56. This was a game that at one point Rolling Meadows was up 18, that the Lady Raiders fought back and had Rolling Meadows taking free throws to make it a 3-possession game with 20 seconds to go. Great job of staying in this game by a Lady Raider team that looked tired at times in the third quarter.
Well, and that's the MO for a Lady Raider team. You never quit. You play with heart. You play until the final horn sounds, and that's the way Coach Orn trains those kids, and that's how they practice. So, QND's never going to give up on anything. So they fought back really hard, and Rolling Meadows kind of helped them out by going to that four-corner offense, and that's just not something they were comfortable with, and QND just got after it on the defensive end.
Let's take a look at the Hanson-Spears stat sheet. For the Lady Raiders, it was Gittenbacher with 11, Obert with 4, Keating had 6, Mary Beth Hugenberg with 14, Cassidy Foley with 10, Mackenzie Foley had 2 on 2 free throws, Marcola with 2, and Humphreys with 6 off the bench. That was the key part of that mini spurt at the end of the game that brought the Raiders back. Rolling Meadows, Jackie Kemp, 27 to lead all scorers tonight. Kay was shut out. Villette held to 9. Glasgow had 17 in a complimentary role. Montanez had 4. Kemp had 2. And Schumann had 2 coming off the bench. We'll take a look at the team stats in just a moment. And head coach Eric Horn will join us in a bit. All as the Lady Raider postgame show continues on WTAD.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table.
This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.